Oh, James. It does look good though, mate, doesn't it? I'm not going to be able to get it for a while, sadly. I'm proper skint, like, skint beyond belief. I made a fatal error with financing this month, and it's cost me dearly. So yeah, I've just had to cancel Wipeout. Yeah, and I'm in real strife for a while. But it does look good. Evening, Para. I haven't eaten it yet. I've just gone and turned it off because I've made it extremely fucking hot and I hate hot curries. But I'll eat it because it's turned out really nice. But I'll probably not eat it tonight now. I started cooking it and I didn't realise it was like 6:30, 6 o'clock. I didn't realise it was too late and it was fucking red hot in the kitchen and I felt lazy. So I just like got it cooking and then switched everything off, but it's come out really nice. I don't cook curries very often, not at all. I'm not a curry fan at all. I can eat them if I fancy them, but I don't know why. I'd got some stewed beef that had to be used today and I didn't fancy cooking a stew. So I thought I'd just rustle up a curry. And it's come out really good. But fucking stupidly red hot. Which is very unlike me. I will show you this though. You're not going to get it on the screen. Printed that way, flat face part. In fact, it's a terrible picture. Printed that one, the first one, but you know the print I was telling you yesterday without the supports and shit? There's obviously going to be a good side to the gun for display, but that's the piece that printed this afternoon, and this side I used the brim and everything to sit down, and it's come out really cool. And then that piece is going to sit on there, so that is the face part. That's looking pretty cool. So that's there. Yeah, I will do. I'll put pictures on the parts, but it's come out really well. But because I've used supports and I don't fancy sanding that and it's a bit intricate, I'll obviously display it. I mean, that's rough side, so I'll display it that side. That's going to be one of the other barrels, I think, somewhere down here. And I can't be arsed starting the printer again yet because all my cooking shit's in the way, so I'll do it tomorrow, I think. But it's come out really well. My rental game come this morning from the new rental company. A lot of people have been asking me. Didn't realise I'd started renting games. I gave it a bit of a mention last night. It's called Paramount Game Rentals, I think. ParamountGameRentals.co.uk. I think they're based in Wales. And I know I pissed and moaned about their system last night because they do a weird system and they do it for security reasons since speaking to them today. And I've lost track of thought then. I was completely thinking of something else. Oh yeah, the rentals. So I then got... what you have to do, you sign up normally, you get a free 14-day trial. And I've gone for one that's called a loot box edition, and that's 12 quid a month. For 12 quid a month you get 2 games of any console, but you also get this like loot box every month, one a month, and in that loot box is shit that fucking fat gamers eat, like chocolate and sweets and stuff, so it's just like a bonus box. I just tried it for that one, But I then pissed and moaned, and because the way their system works, there is absolutely no way of registering your games on the website. And I thought, well, where the fuck do I put my game list? And you either have to Snapchat them, not Snapchat, WhatsApp them, I'm not up with the kids, WhatsApp, email or whatever. Now, I have actually spent 5 minutes this morning and stuck about 8 games in. It only took me 5 minutes. I'd got an email open, I'd got their webpage open, and I put Date 4, I put Wipeout, I think I put Yakuza in, and like I say, I put about 8 or 9 games and just sent it off. I got a reply within 10 minutes saying thanks for updating your list. So it's not that bad. And the first game's come this morning. I've had Mafia 3. I was planning to play it tonight, but I just can't be arsed with that this morning. Because to be honest, I fancy playing that on my own a bit, because I love the music in it. I love that era. And the demo was really good. But I know a lot of people just said it was very repetitive, so I might have a tattle of that tomorrow on my own. And if I'm enjoying it, I'll probably stick it on the stream tomorrow night. But I thought I'd play another hour of this tonight. I know that not many people were interested in it last night, which is surprising because, like I've said, I had quite a lot of requests for this. I must do, by the way, my unboxing of the gadget that I've been speaking about for weeks, because I've actually got chance to use it today for the first time in the real world, and it is such a cool fucking device. I want to show you guys, I want to unbox it, I want to explain what it is, so I'll more than likely stick that up tomorrow. But you'll love it, I'm sure. All you gadget freaks, you will love it. I'm absolutely, when I used it today and it did everything that it said on the tin, I thought, oh my god, this is absolutely fucking so amazing, so futuristic, and it just blew my mind. So tomorrow, somebody hit me up on Twitter tomorrow to remind me and say, Toz, have you done your unboxing yet? And give me a nudge, and I'll do it tomorrow. But it's really cool. This house smells nice of beef curry, though, I will tell you. Mafia 3 is buggy as but kept losing saves and encountering. Yeah, Jason, I know that's what kind of steered me away from it from way back when it first come out. We know that. By the way, slightly digressing, listening to podcasts this afternoon. I've actually listened to 3 podcasts this afternoon, which I'm going to admit that are the first podcasts I have listened to in fucking months. Absolutely months. And I was actually I was doing what all the trolls must do on my show. You know, when you lose your shit sometimes. And I know that you all do, because we're not right 100% of the time, and we've all got opinions, and I get that. I fully respect that 100%. What I don't do as a person, I don't go and piss and moan and personally attack the people saying it, because I respect they've got an idea. I might disagree with the fucking idea, but it is what it is. And it was an American podcast, I'm not going to tell you which one, but they was talking about Far Cry 5. Now, I don't want to stereotype, and I know we've got a great few American friends that come into this stream and are listeners to the show, but I couldn't get over the fact they was losing their fucking shit, going absolutely apeshit mental over all this controversy over Far Cry 5, apparently painting it because I didn't quite get it. I'd seen it on the tinterwebs, but I didn't get what they were pissing and moaning at. But I found out today, and apparently they're a little bit upset about it. Looks like depicting like cults in America, because it's set in America. And it's like cults, and obviously there was talking about, even Waco got mentioned, for fuck's sake. And I'm like thinking, what? And I'm like, and I couldn't care. I was slicing and dicing and getting my stuff, and I'm sat there screaming, going, it's a video game. Why are you getting so fucking et up in political thoughts and shit like that? You're video game journalists. It's your fucking full-time job. Why are you having an absolute fit over a video game cover and subject matter? It's a game. And you, of all people, should fucking realise just that it's a game. They were losing their mind. Just to sequels is a good listen. They take movies with a bad sequel and pitch their own ideas on what the sequel should have been. Right. To be honest, Jason, anybody who knows me on the show, I never listen to other podcasts other than gaming ones. For some unknown reason, because I'm passionate about video games, it's just the subject matter that keeps me entertained. Any other subject matter, I'm in and out and fucking, oh my god, no, I've done. I did finish watching a TV series this morning, Tennyson 1973, Prime Suspect 1973 to give it its proper title. Really enjoyed it, thought it was great. You know what, Para? I'll tell you now, mate, that honestly, I just sat there losing my shit, honestly. I thought, for Christ, because they was getting so fucking, like, serious. And I was, like, stood there thinking, you're one of the top video game journalist website podcast shows in the world today, and I can't understand why you don't get the fact it's a game. Every game's got its political fucking metaphors or thoughts. Like, apparently there's been a, like, it's been a fucking, like, they've been thinking about getting petitions to get the game banned. And I'm like, what the fuck? Speaking of podcasts, isn't PS I Love You going down the pan? They're just rebranding, mate. And that's, don't even get me started on that fucking thing. Because not only do they do advertising and ram it down your throats, then they've got a Patreon that makes over 100 grand a month. Because fucking hell, that's not enough money, is it? But then they come onto the thing, because Collins left, they've like made a whole thing of it, like YouTube drama, to make a show to tell you why they're not continuing, but also to tell you then they'll do one last show, and then they're rebranding. And I said to Ricky privately, I says, why the fuck don't they just get somebody else on it? Hi Eric, mate, I don't mean anything personal, you know that, and I hope you don't take offence. Honestly, Eric, I mean, I don't know if you, I mean, I couldn't believe they was having an absolute fit over a fucking video game, but you're right, there's too many other shit to worry about in the world. But by the way, Eric, we'll have to get back on to Farpoint, mate. I really enjoyed that the other day. We had an absolute blast, and next time we do it, we'll stream it, because we absolutely did brilliant at it. So next time we get the times right, we'll have a go and we'll stream it. So yeah, we'll get into that. I really enjoyed that. And I have, by the way, Eric, I've ordered the skins, better to my judgment. I've given some American website £22 of my bloody money to get skins for my silly Farpoint gun. Anyway, shall I get down to playing an hour of this? Because I'm not actually feeling like gaming tonight, but I'm sure this will get me a bit excited with it being fantastic. Para, I'm going to tell you something, mate. The 3D movies on the PSVR is fucking phenomenal. Stream it. Farpoint is a milestone in gaming history. Spot on, James. 100%, mate. I've said it. I've even tweeted the guys as well. Oh, have you got that skin? Send me a picture. Send me a tweet. Let me have a look how you've done it. And did you struggle? Because the video looks a bit of a pain in the ass. And I know you've got a house full of women. Sadly, I haven't. And I don't possess a fucking hairdryer. And I know that a hairdryer is... It looked like it's essential on putting the skin on. I might just have to buy a £5 hairdryer. And be done with it. I could sit and a piece of music on the front end of this. You know when I played this game regular and was playing it to a finish, I actually used to sit and load that game, and I ain't lying when I say this. I had to sit and listen to that opening for about half an hour because it just chilled me the fuck out. I'm outnumbered 3-1 in my arse with women. Arse in my arse. Jesus, in my house with women. Yes, now you've affirmed I do need an hairdryer. Well, to be honest, Eric, I've also put a front skin on my PSVR as well. I've put a nice, like, make-believe sticker on, and it does need a bit of air drying, so I'll chuck a few quid into air dryer. But I'm a bit brassic at the moment, so things have got to be put on hold. Where was I last night? Oh yes, I was just about to do the oh yeah, fast travel to this camp, didn't I? Shall we, by the way guys, is the audio of the game a little bit loud? Shall I just knock it down a touch? In fact, I think I will knock the audio down because it's actually quite loud in my ears. I hate it when when they don't have a one setting just to knock everything down. Oh right, well I'll turn it down a touch because it's a bit loud for me, but I'll knock it up a bit then. Okie doke guys, thanks for letting me know. Right, map. I think I did a fast travel here, didn't I, last night, and I needed to go back to there, which is a bit stupid because there's now no fast travel to get back to there. Just look at that for a shot. I've got to show you. How amazing was that? I don't want to brag like Robin Hood, but that was pretty stunning for a first shot of the day. Was it not? Anyway. I digress. Look at the view. Look at the view of the greatest video game ever made. Fucking hell, even I'm that. Rodney, it was you and about 30 other people I got emails and messages off, mate. And last night when I streamed it, there was 6 people in the room. And I was a little bit disappointed. I mean, it didn't bother me. I enjoyed playing it anyway. But a lot of people had, like, requested this game. And then there was, like, 6 people in the room. If you've not played this game, there's a real cool bit going up now, I think, where we're heading to. This was pretty cool.
Yes, I guess. It's louder than
Why have you stopped building your printer? You ain't had a problem, have you? Thought that'd be done and dusted now, man.
Soon it'll all seem familiar. Like home.
I don't know about that.
Look for high matriarch.
Quick question to the room. Does anybody know a cheap set of basic headphones for gaming to just cover either Xbox and PS4? Very similar to this one. You know, I've always said this is a cheap. I think it cost me about 12 quid. But the cable's getting a bit dodgy. It's a bit knackered. I've had them about 2 years. Can anybody just recommend a basic set with a decent microphone? And the reason I'm saying it, and I know people are going to have a spaz and say, well, you've got millions of things. Ricky said the same thing tonight. But I'll just say to everybody in the room what I said to him. I've got about 10 top pairs of headphones, not headsets with microphone. Anyway, Mark, when you played this, did you have any glitches and problems? Not a single thing. Not a single thing. To be honest, I will say these are a real cheap-ass set of headphones. I'm trying to let me try and find the name. 1 second, I'm trying to take them off. Yeah, these are called King Top. All one word, King Top. Go on to Amazon, and I actually think I might just buy another set of these. Because I'll tell you now, these have been phenomenal, and they literally cost me like 12 quid. I think the latest headset of this version in a nice red, they're about 18 quid now, and I just might update these, because these have been shit up, really have. After half building it and going to bed, woke up, most of them have been liquids. Oh, right, you're a bit ill. That's all we'll say.
Are you sure they're going to let me in?
That's a shame.
I've told you, Aloy. By law, any child outcast can run in the proving.
And any who pass are made braves and are outcasts no more. I know that. But not
Red hot
everyone
in
feels
this
the way
flat,
you do.
can't tell you.
Faith, Aloy.
I want a chat headset, not a chat headset, not a two. To be honest, James, if you are looking for one for your consoles, your Xbox, whatever, and you're not bothered about like a dead expensive shit, seriously, go and look at King Top on Amazon. They are really good, really cheap, and brilliant. Oh, mate, you're going to remind... Me and Ricky had a laugh the other day, and you know, and I even said this, and he actually quoted the series. What you've just said is I've kind of like got a weird, freaky, like OCD type of thing. Do you know when I order anything from China, do you know whenever I open the box, I'll throw it to the room, because Ricky got it in a second, and I mentioned this to him. I said, I've got a bit of a weird, freaky thing, because I was opening a box on Skype and showing him. And I said, oh, I've just got to have a minute, because I get a bit weird when I open a box from China. And Ricky said, I know what you're talking about, and I bet you lot can't guess what I was. And ever since I watched this stupid program, I always say the same.
What should I expect once
And you've just got me thinking, are you opening that box? Well, wireless headphones, one I can connect to the sound system, jack, not USB. I only want one earpiece, not two. Oh, right. That's a bit weird. I could never do that. Completely agree. It was Chinese air that made me ill. It's off The Simpsons, by the way. When Bart ordered his spy cam from China and a little fly falls out the box and it infects Arthur Springfield. You're looking for some wireless headphones that I can connect? Right, Parrot, are you looking for dead expensive, posh ones? Can it be Bluetooth or what? Give me a clue and I'll point you. Them that we got quoted in this room has been the ones I use for my TV at night are really cool.
Any final lessons before I head in?
No. You've learned every lesson the wilds have to teach.
It was you who taught me, not the wilds. Not sure my bow and spear will be much help in there, though.
It is with bow and spear that you'll win what you wanted all these years, Aloy. Answers.
Apologies if the fan is pretty loud, guys, but I just cannot fucking tell you how hot it is in here. I want like a Bluetooth phone headset for Xbox. It doesn't exist. Just get wired, mate, to be honest. Right, let's get in. Let's do this, as they say.
See you back home in a few days?
Let's do this.
You will not find me there, Aloy.
Always leaving. Sad times. Tissues. Tissue time. Well, is the device you're going to Bluetooth? Because I'll tell you now,
Where are you talking about?
them things we got quoted on this show the other night, well, the other week, last month or whenever,
You should be with the truth.
they were a really cheap set. They're
Will always be an
But I told you.
Bluedio, B-L-U...
Come to you in secret.
B-L-U-E-D-I-O on Amazon. They cost 17 quid. They're really cheap, shitty quality, but the Bluetooth and sound is brilliant. Ah, you ain't got Bluetooth, well, you're knackered then. But these are cool. I use these every night.
isolation long enough.
Until now, I didn't.
For your sake, I must go where you will never find me.
He's leaving. No, don't leave me, please. Put my phone up for sale on Twitter today. If anybody's interested in a picture. Bargain. Grab yourself a bargain. In fact, I didn't realise till I got all my phone shit out that I'm selling. The actual cases that I found in my box are 20 quid each, and I've got 4 of them.
Glad to have this then.
So I've got 80 quid's worth of cases. I've got a 25 quid wireless charging unit. I've got a phone
And now
that's
you will prepare me for this day.
pretty cool, and I'm selling it for 150 quid.
Thank you.
Heavier than it looks. But the cord is strong.
150. I've got it on Pre-Loved and Gumtree for 160, but if any of the listeners want it, I'll do it for 150. And it's a dual SIM, 64 gig space, 4 gig of RAM, 4K video, 4K movies. It outperformed iPhones and Galaxies of the day. It's the OnePlus 2.
I have to
Watch YouTube if you are slightly interested. Why was she facing the wrong way then? Bit stupid. I think we're going to go through a few cutscenes here, guys, but I'll let them run in case there's people not played the game. Plus it adds to the bit of the story if people are watching it.
You will turn back, outcast. Or bleed. Your choice.
Evening, Alan.
Make way! Make way!
Oh, here she is. Here's Big Gal.
Stand aside. She is welcome here.
She is. Don't take no shit off Grandma. She'll sort you.
Child. Come. I assure you, most Nora aren't so rude as those idiots.
You're Tirsa?
Who else would I be?
Yeah, this cable on the headset's about knackered. That's why I need another one.
They alarmed.
You have?
Oh, yes. But for the moment, I must leave you. I have other outsiders to keep safe tonight.
You what?
Envoys from another tribe, the Karja. Come to observe the proving, and oh, how the Nora hate the Karja.
Karja.
But that's my problem. We will talk later. In the meantime, enjoy the festival. Oh, down the path to the right, you'll find an old friend who can't wait to see you.
But I don't know anyone here.
Try telling him that. We will talk later. May the goddess protect.
What is going on?
Got my pictures lined up on my phone for my tattoo as well. I've been and found some and got some that will give the tattooist some ideas anyway. But I've got to find a decent tattooist and one that's cheap, but there ain't any of them about anymore.
Aloy! It's you, isn't it? It is Aloy.
Can't you buy the adapter for the Xbox One? Just plug in any headphones versus the 3.5 jack. I take it you're not talking about me, Jason, because I don't have an Xbox.
I see you don't recognize me. Well, it was a long time ago. Teb is my name.
I will say, if you haven't bought one of them jacks for the Xbox, I highly recommend it, because I did have one at the time.
I remember.
In fact, do you want me to tell you something? I actually think I left that twat on when I sent it back to shop too.
All these years, I hope to see you again.
I did.
If you came to run in the proving.
You just reminded me. What a dick.
It didn't turn out to be much of a
What a fucking dick. I have actually just remembered. When I returned my Xbox to shop 2, I left the fucking adapter on that's worth 20 quid. What a dope.
Cost nothing. Consider the thing.
What a fucking idiot. That's blown my mind. Right, here we go. This, I'll explain something here. He's going to sell something, he's selling clothes, okay? If I was pushed into a corner, you guys know I've said this is the greatest video game in my opinion that's ever been made. I think it's just phenomenal, as you all know. If I was to be pushed into a corner and forced to say what was a negative about the game, this would be the only negative of this entire game. And that is, you guys know, if you listen, a long-term listener to my show, I'm massive on RPGs, and the word you'll always hear me say when talking about RPGs in the very next sentence is loot table. Any RPG worth its salt, any adventure game worth its salt has to have a fantastic loot table. It has to be big, it has to be handled correctly, and it has to be good. This is the only negative in this entire game, but it's not a big negative. James, honestly, mate, I would buy a PS4 to play this game. If ever the sentence that's used greatly in the gaming world, is it a system seller, you're looking at it right here. And I know you're a big gamer, you would absolutely... In fact, there can't be any gamers out there that wouldn't lose their mind over this game. But anyway, back to this. The clothes are a bit shit. It didn't really matter what you got, if I'm being honest. It didn't make a vast difference. It didn't do much difference to the gameplay. It was probably the least touched part of my entire gameplay, period. That was it. So yes, I would say the only negative, albeit a slight one, is these clothes. Because they really are not that good. Now, I probably missed what they actually told me. Did they tell me I've got to buy one? Right, let me just get my... I can't remember what I bought. I think I bought the Silent Hunter, I think. Yes, I did. Yeah, and I think that's what I used and bought for the rest of the game until I got the one that Para cheated to get. And cheated to play the game. Right, let's have a run through this lot because I've got a shitload of stuff to sell here. I know I have. So always look on the right hand side, look, when it says, it'll just say, and it's usually the shit down the bottom. So let me go right to the bottom. It'll usually say just for trading to merchants, and any object that says that. I'll explain that in a second, Alan, in a second, mate, 1 second. Anything that's used for, I never sold a single thing. It don't look like I've got anything that's just ready to sell for anything else. No, I haven't. Alan, you made up your mind on Wipeout. Right, I've cancelled my Wipeout. And I'm probably going for date 4 thing, but I've just said at the room at the beginning, I'm exceptionally skint this month, really badly. In fact, I've got like 10 or 12 days with no money to spend whatsoever. So I'm sadly not going to be able to get date 4 at the weekend. I will probably push for date 4 when I get it. So that's the thing. I wouldn't mind both of them, but that'll be way down the line. So, yeah. I've cancelled my pre-order of Wipeout, which is a shame because I liked it. I wanted the box, actually. I like the PS2 box. And I still might get it because it's only 25 quid. I'll just have to look at my funds at the end of the week, I think, to see if I can push it. But yeah, Date 4 looks just too good. James, Farpoint has been the game that has made me nearly buy a PS4 game changer when I've played Oculus. Have you had your hands on Farpoint, James, or are you just going on reviews? But I will say, if you are that kind of gamer and like that, I would put Farpoint and Horizon Dawn as console or PSVR sellers. Farpoint's an absolute game changer. Farpoint is that Wii tennis moment. And I've said ever since I've done the podcast, the greatest gaming moment for me, period, was the Wiimote. When I first stood up in my living room and used the Wiimote to play tennis. That was just like a breathtaking moment. Well, it's now changed. It's Farpoint. Yeah, it is. It's phenomenal. And co-op play. Co-op play. And you've only got to watch my stream when I played co-op play of Farpoint. And you guys all know that are regular listeners. I fucking detest online play. I detest co-op. I detest all that shit. I just like my single-player stories, and I'm happy bunny. You knew by my voice and excitement how fucking amazing that experience was. And it just was. It was brilliant. The video you posted today made me go for date. Looks like it dropped all the bullshit. Yep, that's exactly what sold it me. And by the way, that video I did post you, that was an alpha build, by the way, because I meant to follow it up later with a more up-to-date build, but it don't matter because it's out on Friday, so I'm guessing most of you are going to get it. I personally can't wait.
Wait, Aloy, you didn't take the outfit I made you. Go on. It's yours.
Oh, he wanted me to buy that fucking thing, didn't he? Okay, I'll buy it, but I ain't fucking... Alright, I'll put it on, but I'm swapping back to that other one.
Seems to fit you perfectly.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, but it does fuck all.
I've never had anything like this before.
Well, it's yours. I think you'll find it affords more protection than what you were wearing. Every outfit offers some advantage. It's always a trade-off. Anyway.
You see, they made a little bit about the outfits here, but they just did not actually mean fuck all.
You'll know it when you see it. A large wooden building with an angry mob waiting outside.
Tirsa said something about envoys from another tribe?
Yes, that's what the mob's angry about. Karja visiting our sacred land for the first time in years. I'd expect to see some tomatoes flying, maybe rocks. Hopefully not spears. In any case, be ready to duck.
Yeah, the only bit that looked like bullshit is basically just for complete new beginners. I can't wait. And me stupidly and very naive, and I must remember to mention it on the show this week, because I was completely not misled, but I was kind of, I'd got my head set in a different way, and I actually, for some unknown reason, just thought it was Dirt Rally. I thought it was just bringing another Dirt Rally out, and I thought, what the fuck? And somebody, it might have been James, I think, I'm not sure if it was you that mentioned it, or it might have been Para. Somebody mentioned it to me on Monday and said, no, it's not Rally, it's the back to the old shit. Why have I sat down there?
Hot as a forest fire.
Jog! Get down from there! Bad enough you're drunk. Why do you have to go climbing houses?
Nice one. I used to have a great contact at Codemasters, actually. When I used to be big into Dirt back in the day, I used to be an avid forum member of the Codemasters forum, and I used to have a lot of chat on there. And I used to have, that's how I got a decent PR contact as well. No, the Dirt, what you got, Dirt Rally obviously is Dirt Rally, but Dirt is going back to old school, where there is a rally section, but it's part of the big game, and there's like road racing, there's them big American trucks racing. You must remember from way back, I can't remember if it was somebody in the room will tell me, James know that, but the original really cool one, and you'll always remember it, because what everybody's talking about, the bullshit, you had to level up and carry on going. But then halfway through, they chucked that stupid fucking Gymkhana shit at you because they was trying to appease the American audience, where we drove around that fucking playground and tried and do skids and shit to get points, and that just totally destroyed the game. However, they've totally removed that bullshit from this version. That's why everybody is having an absolute spaz. Somebody's just said over here. Where is he? Oh, he's there.
Karst? What are you doing here?
Careful. Pretend like we...
That's the one. I tell you what, though, have you actually watched... And I guess some fans in here will have.
And how generous.
If you've not watched Ken Block's YouTube videos, go and actually watch them. Because I don't drive, you know, I've never been able to drive because of injury. Go and watch his videos, because I absolutely sat there one night and watched about 2 hours of them and was totally fucking blown away. I have never seen a driver with such skill ever, and I just thought, holy fuck.
So, Mother's Heart.
Amazing videos that guy makes.
Well, man.
Dirt games were more than rally, a lot off-road racers, and that gym shit was the case. But yes, they've took it out. Oh, rejoice. I think this is going to be big. I think it's going to be big. I might still get it Friday, I'm unsure. I've asked them for a review. But what I didn't mention about reviews the other night when I was talking about it for the show, I forgot to mention that, you know, this time of the year when it's E3, you're fucking pissing in the wind. Right, let me just concentrate a minute here, guys, because I want to hope I can afford... You see, the sharpshooter bow is what I'm after, I think. And I can't afford it. 105 metal shards. I've only got 100. Could be selling some shit, though. Hang 5. Hang fucking 5. We might have to sacrifice something. By the way, a bit of a chuckle I had to myself in this game. I finished this game 77 hours. You know, the night I finished this, because I used to tick something over in my mind. You know, all the selling shit and resources. You know where it says there at the bottom, sell multiple? I finished this entire game at around midnight one night. I woke up the following day to carry on a bit, to clean up some quests, and I'd finished the game. And they added a patch, and the fucking patch added sell multiple. So I'd gone through 77 hours of gameplay having to sell everything fucking individual, and it used to drive me balmy. And they fixed it the day after I finished the bloody thing. So what can I sell that's not going to put me down, but it's going to make me a decent amount of money for now? And I think it's going to be that. No, I'm not going to get rid of that, because that's a good one. I just need to make 5 things. I don't think it really fucking matters, does it? I'm not selling any animal. can sell them and make my money. Just want to check, the sharpshooter bow, is that the one I've not got? Because I did this mistake when I first played. Just want to check, I've not got the sharpshooter bow, have I? I haven't, have I? No, I haven't. No.
I'll give you my best prices.
That can kick ass, that can. Tell you that for free.
Always happy to take your shot.
I think I've bought that bow and I don't think I can use it yet, but anyway, I'll open that because that's just going to fucking OCD me if I don't. Kill 3 watchers using precision arrows, shots to the eye. I'll be able to do that dead easy. Tell you what I need to do. Can I do my carry capacity up on my sharpshooter bow? Can I do it? Nope. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going through a few things just to make sure I can do shit. No, it's metal shards I'm stuck for now. Yep, I need more metal shards, but not to worry. Ammo, let's just do that so it fucking makes me that. Yep, can't do that. Inventory. Ammo. Precision arrows. Yay. Let's kick ass with the new fucking thing. Let me look what I've got. Boom. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Here we go.
In a moment, we shall bless the proving. But first, we have guests to welcome.
The story of this game, by the way, is absolutely fantastic if you don't know the game. It's just brilliant. Just very clever, very well done, and was really good payoff at the end. I must admit, though, you're going to interact with a guy in a minute, him there on the left, him with the tash and shit and the Mohican. I took an instant dislike to that guy, fucking hated him in a second, which you'll see in a minute why. And the thing is, he's in the game right till the very end, and he's actually a big part of it. And I didn't like this guy at the start.
He was. He was a tyrant and a monster. Raided my tribe for a blood sacrifice, just like yours. My own sister was taken. I hated the Carja. The 13th king is dead. 2 years now. Who killed him? The 14th. Not because he lusted for power, but because someone had to put an end to his father's atrocities. Yeah! The message that this poor priest means to read is an apology. Straight from the lips of the 14th king. So please, can't you lend him your ears?
Thank you. An enunciation of gratitude written by the hand of Sun King Avar, 14th luminance of the Radiant line.
By the way, there's some 3D prints of that earpiece on Thingiverse, and somebody even made a real cool one that
Just like mine. You're the only other person
that actually put some LED lights in it, and it looked really cool.
What? A Nora? Wearing one of these? That's impossible. Your tribe
tribe fears the other places.
When you get paid before I treat myself a new game, tempted by Tekken 7 as I've not played a fighter in ages. I'm hearing not good things about it, Jason, so I'd have a quick check before you spend some money, mate.
What's wrong?
Might be tempted to join one of the rentals for a bit. Might be worth a free month or something. Why don't you jump on one of the free rentals?
Making friends with locals, are we?
That Paramount Games, you get 2 weeks. At least you'll get one game. It could be one of the new ones. Oh, and then again, no, don't. I apologise. They don't send you a new game for your first trial. I apologise. But maybe worth a go.
The same trinket that Olin has on his head. Since when did those become fashionable?
His name is Owen? Who is he? And where did he get one of these?
He's just a scrounger with friends in high places. He spends half his time digging for artifacts, the other half drinking or dicing. As for the trinket, I guess he dug it up somewhere. Just a weird old jewel he sticks on his face. I mean, no offense. It looks great on you.
What else do you know about Owen?
Is he really that interesting? I'm starting to get jealous. Well, he scours the wilds for ruins, digs up stuff, and sells it to nobles. When he's not scrounging, he's scouting. Exactly the skills you want the man guiding your expedition to have. I've known him for a few years. He's a loyal companion, cares for his family, holds his drink well enough. I like him, but besides that, not much to tell.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Jason. I heard a couple of podcasts today that, as I said, I was listening to today. A lot of people are playing, you know, like their leftover list. It always happens every year about this time. I mean, there's probably quite a few I could jump back into.
You're obviously capable, and, well, I mean, look at you.
What are you talking about?
You know what. If you ever visit Meridian, look me up. I'll show you around, make introductions. It'll be a whole new life, if you want it. I'll even introduce you to my sister. She's got more connections than I do.
I thought you said she was captured and killed by the last Sun King.
Titanfall 2 was one of the second best games I've played this year as well.
More than a few cards to
And I ain't a Titanfall fan either.
Now she's captain of the entire Vanguard.
James, you'll have to stop talking about Elder Scrolls because I've been tempted to jump back into that again. And I might be getting even the review of Morrowind, which I know that'll be probably worth jumping into. But I'm just wondering if it's worth jumping into if you've not played much of the original, to be fair. Can't tell you how good this game looks on this TV though.
Start the blessing when all aspirants are in place.
Aloy, take your place right there. The prayer lantern is yours. I made it for you. Sisters.
What does the stream? What do these streams actually look like, guys? Because I actually never get to see them. I mean, I know this does supposedly now does 1080p 60 frames, which I've been informed is not quite right, but it obviously looks better. But what does it look like for you guys? Does it look actually good quality?
In honor of my mother, whose name I would know if she hadn't abandoned me at birth.
All Mother, hear our prayer. What is the child but a mother's hope that takes flight? A glowing flame that climbs the air, set free to the wind, sailing the sky till it fades and falls. So, from one to another, passes the chain of love.
By the way, anybody potato quality on my laptop? Just kidding. Anybody on the stream got a S7 Edge or an S8? Is there a way to quickly mute all sounds on the phone? On my OnePlus, there was an actual physical switch on the side, just by literally picking up click. Is it a matter of I've got to pick the phone up and just mute, use the down buttons till the volume goes, or is there a quick alternative? Just want to throw it out there. Swipe down from the top menu, tap twice on the speaker. Thank you very much, Jason. And can you do that in locked mode, or is that got to be unlocked mode? So let me check why I've got 2 places to go to. Enter the Hunter's Lodge. Talk to Olin. Let's go to Olin because he's closer at the minute. Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, Olin.
You know my name? Ah, guess Aaron told you.
Why did you act so strange when we spoke earlier?
Must be this festival. I'm really not one for crowds. Maybe I should just turn in.
Stop dodging my questions.
All right, cool your fire. I got nothing to hide.
I've never seen anyone else with a focus. Where exactly did you find it?
In a ruin, north of the Claim. That's our name for the Asuram homeland. Up there, the metal seams run deep. Steel giants half buried in loose soil. Forgotten caves that the old ones bored into mountain.
Loving it, James, now, mate. Now I've virtually sorted. I did move to the Gmail app. That was my problem. You guys know about the email. The reason it worked on my other phone, because it was the Gmail app, and I didn't realise till I wiped my phone yesterday and realised it was the Gmail app. So I basically started using that, and I'm loving it. Loving the themes. Just stupid, pointless shit. And I actually got my first calls this morning on it. My ex-wife rang me and my brother rang me, and I'd forgot I'd been pissing about with the ringtones, and my brother rang me, and I've got the old Only Fools and Horses tune started up, and I absolutely fucking laughed my head off. And I've also got the ringtone, and it comes on and says, "Your idiot brother is calling. Please pick up the phone. Your idiot brother is calling. Please find out what the idiot wants." And that just made me cry. Do I prefer Android over iOS? Para, I never think I'd utter these words. I wouldn't actually say preference. What I would say, in the past, being all Apple because of the show and stuff, and having an iPhone and an iPad, I wouldn't say a preference. What I would say, for the first time, they're as good as each other. What I'm super impressed about more than anything, this is my first ever modern phone, really. You can't class the OnePlus because it wasn't one of the big leaders. So this Galaxy S7, the big thing I would say to me is looks and screen. The screen is truly the best screen I've had on a modern phone. It just is gorgeous. Takes nice pictures. Video on YouTube and shit is stunning. It's a lovely phone. It really is.
You're not a very convincing liar.
Do you always?
But as for preference, Android's a lot better. And anybody who still lives in the dark ages like I used to and think like Android on a cheap Japanese tablet was the last time I ever saw Android, and it was absolutely diabolical. We all know that. And basically now it's like, in fact, this is what I told Ricky, because he asked me, he says, "What do you think now you've had it?" And I basically said these words to him: for the first time ever, don't worry about swapping phones, because the Android system's now got virtually everything that the iPhone has. So when you move, you will never be looking and thinking, shit, my phone doesn't do that, because it's not an iPhone. Well, they do now, and it is. And I think he's told me, Ricky said that his S8, now he's had it a fortnight, doesn't miss the other one at all. You have a similar ringtone for the wife. Yeah, I love it. I used to have, to be honest, where I got this one from, it also had wife one, and I actually used to have it for my ex-wife, actually. Yeah, the Galaxy S7's got a 4K kind of screen as well, and it's not on by default either when you first switch it on. You have to actually go into the display settings and change it. One annoying thing that we tried to track down, and this will piss people off as well, for me, just 1 second, I'll talk about this in a minute. The OnePlus Android system, on the bottom, it had a fingerprint sensor as normal and a button, physical button. Then it had the open all apps on the right side and back on the left side. Fucking hell, the S7 Edge has got them swapped round. So you can imagine using the OnePlus for over a year and its automatic pilot, back or whatever, they're now swapped. So when Ricky was actually here showing me his S8 and we was doing some comparisons, when I mentioned that to him, he says, oh, you can change that. And I said, no way. And he went in his settings, opened his settings up and pointed it to me. He says, there, look. And he clicked it and he can swap his round. So he put it back either way to show me. And I thought, holy shit, guess what? It's not on the S7 Edge. And we had a look on Google and stuff looking, and you have to download all these third-party stupid apps to swap it round, and I actually did it. But I'd read that the app needed to swap these round was very battery heavy on resources. So to be honest, I just disabled it and said to myself, fuck it, it'll take me, what, a couple of weeks to get used to it? So I've not done that. To answer Jason, have you turned on the enhancement features? Makes the video playback quality better and tinkers with the colours and makes everything. Yes, I messed about with all the screen features and shit 'cause I'd seen a video of it. Samsung phones are always swapped. I think they can be changed. You can on the S8, you can't on the S7, except through a third-party app. And it's a ball ache, apparently. But I actually did it. It did work, and it worked within seconds. But like I said, all the YouTube videos said that the actual app needed is very battery heavy. Is there an easy way to remove ads in Android? The one thing I noticed on YouTube is one of the annoying things on the home screen, when you swept left, it opened it opens an automatic news feed, very American based, so no good to me. But I found out on a YouTube help video that you can actually disable that. Just press anywhere on a blank space, it opens the settings, and you sweep left to that page and there's a tick box that you can just disable it. So now I've just got my screens, my 3 screens. Did you turn off always on display? That nukes the battery. No, I actually like that. You know when you mean the all on display, do you mean when it powers down and you have your clock? I like that, I don't mind that. And you've also got to appreciate I'm not a heavy user like you guys that use it in your everyday life. So I'm not a heavy user, so I don't really have to... Like my battery today, a Cranky Gamer listener actually sent me a spare wireless charger they had. They've not got a Samsung phone anymore. And that arrived yesterday, and the fast fucking charge on that is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's awesome, but fucking brilliant. Just drop it on this little circle thing, and it charges in like fucking like half an hour. It's brilliant. Love it. I think this is where I got stuck before. If you go to the widget store, there's a bunch of cool stuff to add to your home screen. Yeah, been there. I posted my screen on Twitter yesterday, and I've got a 16-bit gaming screen, and it looks the fucking bollocks. Icons and shit like that, and it's brilliant. Superb. I love it.
Find your bed outcast and dream of winning and proving. That's the closest you're gonna get.
I even, as well, I wouldn't have dared mention this on the show, because I spent about an hour fucking about with my themes and icons and changing and having a look and all this bollocks. Yeah, I did, Jason. I've got a theme, mate. It's on my Twitter. It's lovely. And I would not have dared mention this, but I come an absolute knacker off paying for one. And I think if I'd have mentioned that on the show, I think hell would have frozen over. I nearly paid money for a theme, and I thought, no. I did. There's some great themes. There really is. I love it. But I quickly set on one. And it's cool. If you go into the store, if you guys have got one, go into the store and look for the free themes. There's a gaming section, I think, or kind of gaming section. And basically, it's like a 16 or 8-bit screen, and it's beautiful, and it was free.
So this is how it's going to be with you, is it?
This is how it's going to be with everyone, Outcast. You belong in the wilds, not Mother's heart. And you definitely don't belong in the proving.
I'm just going to have a quick toilet break while I let this play out, so just bear with me, guys. Get yourself Google Rewards. Takes a few weeks, earn money, but I've earned like 12 quid on credit. Oh, I didn't know that. You'll have to show me that, Jason, if it's not too intrusive and shit. Right, so let me play this, and I'm just going to go for a loo break. Back in a second, guys.
The only way you know how to feel strong is to make someone else feel weak. It's not working.
I've trained all my life. You'll see tomorrow how strong I am.
Oh, I've seen plenty. You grew a man's body, kind of. But down deep, you're still a scrawny little brat.
You know, I often think of the day I gave you that scar. It's a cherished memory.
You should cherish it. If Rost hadn't shot my stone from the air, you'd be missing an eye. But I suppose you leave that part of the story out when you tell it, don't you?
I branded you that day to mark your shame.
All you did that day was make me stronger. Just wait. I'll show you tomorrow.
Yeah, right. This is boring. Time for Boss to get some sleep. You'll be the one surprised tomorrow, Outcast. Not me.
Oh, are you gonna shut your mouth? Because that would be a surprise.
The case I've actually bought yesterday off Amazon was a gold and black one, because the phone I've got's gold and it sets it off really nice, and I like the design because it's designed in such a way that the front of the phone protects your screen when you put it down. So when you put it down, it's like tilted, and then the back is really nice and got gold stuff on it, so it's pretty cool. And it's also got, it's not only got a front-facing thing that saves your screen, but also if you put it on its back, it's got one on the camera and saves that as well. I'll tell you what I have not messed about with, but I'm not into all this shit either. The heart rate monitor. Apparently it's got a heart rate monitor on it. On the back. Not played about with that, but...
I don't believe we've met. I'm Aloy.
Oh, I know who you are. The competition. The others, they'll finish the proving. Most of them. But win it? That's down to...
Surveys pop up once every few days. Answer one, and within 2 minutes you'll be earning like 7 to 9 pence on ads.
You're right.
Send me a... Was it on your phone, or is it a link to go and sign up? Might have a play with that. Won't bother me doing that.
Now, if you'll excuse me...
By the way, guys, forgot to mention. Got contacted by a magazine today to write a piece for... internet-based magazine to put a written piece on, and I did it in like an hour. Wrote back to them, sent a picture of my ugly face, so it looks like I'm going to get published in a magazine. So yeah, got an email from a PR company of a magazine, asked me if I would be interested in doing a piece, and I said, yeah, no problem, and did it in like an hour.
So, your first day.
So there you go.
What do you think?
Might drive a bit of traffic towards the site, because I put the website and the YouTube channel.
Not very private.
It has certain charms.
Homey enough, once you're accepted.
Cheers, Jason. I think that was the beep. If you hear it in the background, that's my Twitter tune. I'd actually like to have a mess about with my... That's one thing I haven't done on the phone that I'd like to sort out properly. I'd like a decent little tune for my Twitter and my email, because right now they're very similar. Look how beautiful this looks. this kicks off now, by the way. It's pretty cool. Wow, I love this. Look how good this looks. Fucking hell. Look at the lighting. Shit me. Push that little twat off. He'd have been back down there then, pretty sure. He'd have been off. Oops, sorry. I'm on. Do 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 do.
Braves, ready yourselves.
Do do.
What will it take to get you out of here?
Well, I think I died at this bit first time. This was a right little ball ache, this was.
It's a razor.
I didn't realise that. I had the focus power for this push R3. Alright.
Your trophy is shattered, outcast. Looks like you'll need another.
Then again. There. Faster, come on. I've got to catch up.
I'm just supposed to be going somewhere, yeah. Remember now. I got too het up in doing this, I did. That was my problem.
I've got to catch up.
Slow and steady now. All you need is to finish. That makes all but one. Is the outcast coming?
She was behind me.
Calm your tits, I'm here.
Dead last, girl. Might as well walk from here. Boss will win, Urvala, but you'll be made a brave so long as you finish. Oh, now, that's an old trail. 2 died on it last year. It's falling apart. Better dead last than dead altogether. Whoa, 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 whoa! My old mother, are you crazy? You're gonna kill yourself! It doesn't get any easier. You're insane to go that way. That's it.
No way but forward
Just
now.
stop right there. Just turn around.
I can't see. Boss, the ball right behind.
Come on now. Faster. Stop dragging. Gotta keep going.
The outcast.
On the old trail?
Is she crazy?
Good. I'm gaining.
The outcast is catching up.
How'd she get up there? This is gonna be close. Made it. Come on now, hurry. Keep at it. I've trained my whole life for this. They had trouble, but I had the wilds. Precision. Not enough. Must be perfect.
I think actually you can't, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can't fail at this. I might be wrong, but I think if you just go at a decent lick, I think you
Come on, you
can.
can make it. Can't let them beat me now.
There you go, kicked your asses. There you fucking go. Have a bit of that. Boom. We'll have a bit of that, boy. Yes, you did.
The outcast cheated. An outcast win the proving? Never. For she is a brave now.
You did it.
As are you all. So long as you put your trophy on the altar.
This gets good in a minute, though.
But it is Aloy. Once outcast, and now brave.
Yay, I'm the fucking hero. Oh my god, what the fuck? Holy shit beans. Oh my god, they're all fucking dead. Oh my god. Who is gonna save the fucking day?
They're dead. Keep them busy. I'll find an angle.
Bass! Bass! Are you with us? I'm with you.
Fuck it, leave him.
Now! Kill the invaders! Too many of them! We can't win!
Give me a fucking minute.
Oh, Mother, help us! Kill them! Kill the defilers! They're too strong! We can't stop them!
Oh shit.
Kill the defilers! Quick! Run for the slip wire!
Kill them all. No witnesses, no survivors.
Don't give up!
Oh no! There's more! They keep coming! How many are there?
Shit, shit, shit. Go out the fucking way. Didn't see him. I knew I died at least once first time. Ah, fuck. I always forget heal, I do.
Oh no! There's more! They keep coming! How many are there?
Fucking hell, I can't remember this being this hard.
Too many of them!
Fight back! Damn you all!
We can't hold them! Oh, Mother, help us!
Fuck off.
How many are there?
They're too strong! We can't stop them!
Get ready for the shadow.
Oh!
Fuck off. Shit, that was the wrong button.
Too many of them! We can't win!
Oh!
Tell you what's hard to see, the reticle. It's really fucking hard to see.
Too many of them! We can't hold them! Oh, Mother, help us!
No, noob. At least I'm not a cheat.
Now, descend while we have a chance.
At least I'm not a cheat. I'd rather go with true bow and arrow skills. No, I'm not in the mood for Mafia. I'm going to give it a go tomorrow because I like the music and stuff. Holy shit, I remember this idiot. The focus, though, Para, is important later on, as you well know. I mean, I concentrated on that a lot last time. I can remember this bastard. He was a right pain in the arse. This was a dick, this guy, and I need to get my arrows up quickly. Oh, I've no shit. I've no fucking things either. Probably the wrong tactic, this is. I remember. Oh, maybe not. Maybe fucking not. Oh, I'm in trouble here. I'm in trouble here. In trouble. Fuck. Ah, that dick on the floor. Fuck. The white reticon. I never remembered it that being that much of a pain. Oh, it's put me right back fucking here and all though. Fatal error, fatal error, fatal fucking error! Didn't think that prick were dead. Not going to do this time either, boys. Shit, shit, shit. Need to chill. Need to chill. Getting waked up. Calm the fuck down. I'm not managing my arrows. I'm trying to think of my arrows. Right, let me quickly manage my arrows. See, I've none of them left, and I've none of them left. Fuck. Fucking cannot remember this being this hard. Oh, fuck off! Oh, you robbing bastard. Taking my fucking piss, aren't you? Yeah, no, I think that's how I did it last time. I just keep... It's that other little twat that comes on the floor that's taking my health. We'll have it done in a minute. Calm down. calm the fuck down. Let's not panic. I need this little prick first. See, I'm also thinking it's a timed event and it's not, and I'm trying to rush it. I'm going to need some resources in a minute. I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble, I'm in fucking trouble! Fuck me. It's a fuck ache, wasn't it? I don't think it's done yet either. Why is this? We've only got 7 people in the room again. Ah well. I don't think I'll stream this tomorrow. I think I'll save this and play myself, I think. Alexa, what time is it?
Turn your face to the sun, child.
No! Holy fuck! He's killed your father. No.
Burn it all.
Oh my god.
As you command.
No! Terrible. Nearly got a fucking throat cut and all though. He's not dead yet. Put away the tissues. You're not sold on this game yet, am I? Listen, Jason. This ain't the game. This is the 2-hour intro. This is nothing like the game. Believe me. And I was waiting for somebody to say that as well. I thought somebody would have said it last night. He's dead now, though. This is not even the game. This is the intro to the game. All 2 hours of the fucker. It's not even open world yet. We haven't even got to that part yet.
She's dying.
Whoa.
Blasphemy! She should be near her mother.
Aloy, I'm so sorry. Turn your face to the sun, child.
Yeah, but the Matrix is getting done again. Matrix is being done, and Keanu Reeves has agreed to do it. So if you're a Matrix fan, hang on to your axe, it's going to happen. You do know Tom Cruise announced last week that he starts shooting Top Gun. He does. He announced live on American TV that he's going to start shooting Top Gun in a month, I think. Which the American audience lost their shit. Yep. Yeah. Keanu Reeves said he's going to do it. Although I must admit, I'm not a great Matrix fan. I thought it was okay. I didn't get what all the fuss was about, but it's same as any genre, isn't it? If it's your thing, it's your thing. Just like music's a very individual thing, and just like games are individual, as are movies. We are starting the story.
I don't see my bow here. Or the damaged focus, the one I took off that.
The shit. See, this is where the story, she wants to know where she is and what's going on, and this is where the weird shit. And she finally gets to know. And I know there's a secret battery hidden in one of these rooms, and I ain't leaving the fucking room until I found it, and I can't fucking remember where. I remember it was off. It was off to the left.
It must be the damaged focus. The one I took from that killer. It's close. Looks like the ruins I fell into when I was young.
Big secret. Big secret coming up.
Some kind of power cell.
Yes, that is probably one of the best finds you will find in the game, because it sets off a whole chain of events. And look how easy it would have been to actually miss it. But you could have come back and found it, but it was just the point of... I think I've just gone full circle, haven't I?
There. With the rest of my things.
Yay! I return to normality.
What can you show me?
All commanders, halt excavations and proceed at once to the mission point. Avoid all contact with Nora savages. But if you are seen, kill every witness. Target imaging attached.
The way this story is actually unfolded is so fucking brilliant. You see, Jason, you've just asked a question that I ain't going to answer, because what you've just asked is exactly what you do ask yourself, and is exactly the entire backbone of this game. Look, it's fucking brilliant.
Let's focus. How is that possible?
This is the start of the entire thing, and it's brilliant, honestly. Here we go, look.
You need to stop listening to Ted and start listening to me.
Where's this from?
See, I'm finding this even more fascinating because I know the entire plot, and it's actually better now than it was when I first heard it. If you watch me stream this for a couple of nights, I'd guarantee you'll be on the game probably by about the third night.
Just because I look like you.
Aloy, you are awake.
You brought me here.
Quickly, you must follow.
To where?
To the place where you were born.
See, we're getting answers, look. Which bit did you miss, Steve? What did you mean when you said you missed? Right, let me look at my shit and get some skill points made now. I might actually spend a point on the focused shit. See, that's a good one. Can I get both of them? I think I can, can't I? That's one, and I'm going to get that one. So I'm not that bothered about Tinker yet, but now I'll concentrate on Tinker, I think. Yep, save that one. Inventory. What is the outfit? Outcast, don't want that. Resources. Not bothered about. Oh shit, hold on, back off. Do you ever find yourself going back to games you've already completed instead of playing new games as you get older, as you feel comfortable? Jason, if you are a long-time listener, you will know I can count on one hand games that I have finished more than once. I very rarely do it, and that's why I probably don't like, you see, activate the quest lot. Do you want to make Ancient Armory your current quest? No, I won't, but it is one. It's the best one out there. Yeah, I very rarely go back to old games at all. The games I've finished twice are Tomb Raider on a couple of occasions, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think that is basically it. This could be one. You see, games like Skyrim and things like when Ricky talks about Fallout, I couldn't do it with them games because I don't see them kind of. I don't like kind of see them games like this. And if you think of the games that I've said that I've finished multiple times, they're very, very similar games because I'm a very story-based fan, and shit like this I just love. Oh, the power cell, mate. Let me tell you now, the power cell is the most important thing in the thing. Alexa, bedroom, 50%.
Okay.
See, I probably won't finish this again, actually, because we're getting close to E3 and some new games coming out as well. And plus, because there's not many people in this streams as there has been previously, I probably will stop playing this. And look at what I'm going to do on the stream in front. So I shall just see.
My mother looked like me, but with short hair.
I don't see how that could be. You were not born of a woman, Aloy. The mountain is your mother.
What are you talking about?
Come.
What is this place?
The Great Chamber, where All Mother slew the Metal Devil and gave birth to you. Aloy, the Proving Massacre was just the first of many disasters. The war party we sent after the killers was ambushed and slaughtered.
But what does that have to do with where I was born?
My hope is everything. This is where we found you. We heard your cries, came to look, and there you were.
Just lying there?
Yes.
You mean I came from behind the door?
Always, that is what I have believed. That you came from the womb of the mountain. A gift from All Mother herself. But others, like Lansra, feared that a darker...
If you want, I can tell you what the power cell does.
Not a gift.
Have you finished the game, Steve? Let me ask you that question.
This isn't a
You see,
Aloy!
have you not found any power cells? If you find a power cell, just one, it kicks off the quest. And all I'll say without spoiling stuff is the quest will get you something in the game that is fantastic.
Hold for identiscan.
The goddess speaks, just like the woman I saw.
See, this is where the game, Jason, gets exciting, mate, because they're now getting the story and you're thinking, what the actual fuck? So now you're starting to get questions and lots of them. And then when you get past all this bit, the open world shit starts, and it really starts. You only literally witnessed the 2-hour intro. And I've got a feeling, such like Ricky and them and people that's touched this and then not gone back, they would not have gone past this. And they'll have sat there and said something similar to what you've said and said, oh, it's not quite getting me yet. It hasn't even fucking started yet. And when it does start, This intro has set the entire thing up, and then it does go, holy shit.
As if she knew you.
77 hours I've put into it. You can finish the game in around 25 to 30.
The goddess's own words.
I can assure you, Jason, it's one of the best video games you will ever play.
She will see you clearly.
Just see this bit as an intro.
You said you've had visions of a woman with
Because what this is doing is just it's setting the storyline to be an epic story, and it is an epic story.
overwhelming. Is there no other trail to follow?
He was one of the outsiders. The night before the proving. The killer saw me through his eyes. He lives in Lydia.
Your don't count though, Para, because you cheated. That's not bad in this day and age, as most games are around 10 hours. I'm telling you, honestly, I keep saying it, and I'll say it again and again and again. If you class yourself as a video gamer, you have to play this game. I've already got it, Kem, thank you very much.
What happened?
After the massacre of the proving.
And I have already platinum this game, mate. I'm just playing it on a second playthrough for my community. But thank you for noticing about the battery. I will just show you, look, it is there, look. Ancient Armory. But thank you for putting it in the room. Yeah, I've already done this. I've platinumed it and everything. Oh my god, Jason. Get out to the shop tomorrow, man, and get yourself this game and a PlayStation.
So the killer's got away?
Yes. And now the only plan my sister
I do think the game opens up when we exit this mountain.
mother's mercy, as though she would not want us to help ourselves.
But you see now, I remember when I played it the first time, this was where you was literally, like you have, got 1,000,001 questions, and it's like, what? But then it just gets... Honestly, Matt, no mate, seriously, get back. Why, what, you spending 700 quid on? You can get a PlayStation Pro with this game for about 330 quid, I think.
Yes. I showed her.
I do like Witcher 3, Kem, I must admit, mate. It's quite one of my favourites. It's the last PC game I finished that, and I like The Witcher that much. I actually contemplated getting it back on the console to play again. Did I find it hard? No. The ending was a challenge, I'm not going to lie. But it was just... The entire package of this game, the story alone should entice you to get to the end. Ah, right, forgot about your PSVR. Yeah, the story, Matt, should take you to the end. And if you're not a story fan of games, if you are not one of these gamers that gets engrossed by a story, gets involved in the story, and that, and then it's... But it just is. I mean, this now just gets... I could actually see me getting to this next part and saying, yeah, I want to finish this again. Because, I mean, you've not even seen the animals yet. The mechs and the big thing. It's just fucking brilliant. And then you've not even got to the main story plot yet. This is... I can't stress enough, it's just the greatest game ever. No, I haven't. About halfway through. Got one power, so just taking it very slowly. And no, thanks, mate. Don't want to know what's said. No, I won't. Won't spoil it, you, Steve. Honestly, mate, I won't. Don't worry.
Is your mark. In times of great need, the high matriarchs may anoint a seeker.
I will give you tips. I don't know if you've listened to our show when I was playing this live. What I would say, if you're about halfway through, just make sure if you're around about level 18 and 20. Make sure you go to the main town, and you'll know that you're in the main town because it's fucking gigantic. Top tip for the game, first upgrade is to get Silent Strike, Concentration, and Local. Yeah, it is. I went that way. Wow, well done, Kem. That's some addiction, mate, to this. Yeah, I can't wait for the DLC. The rumour is it's going to be announced at E3, I've heard. I'm not going to read all that shit because I've known it.
From here, you must go to the gates of the embrace.
Yeah, I finished the game story in about level 29, 30 in about 25, 30 hours. I then completed every single last thing in it, platinumed it. That took me 77 hours. And now I'm just playing it for the room because the community on our show asked me to play it. Although half of them aren't here. And that's it. I'm going to stop it there for this night. The rumours are on a Vita 2.0 map. I'm hoping the rumours are true. I think it will be really cool, especially if they go down the route where the rumours are saying they're going to link it heavily with the PS4 and have the kind of Switch mechanic of portability, but with the PlayStation module. I think that would be a really cool thing. Right, if we look at the map, yeah, they will be. Para, there's a 2.0, mate, it's coming. You see. Right, if you look at this map, look, for anybody who's not played the game, you can see this vast area, right? Just cast your mind back to what we've played and look at the places we've been. This was where we started with his father, and we walked up here and we had to go and kill a couple of them striders. And then we went to the campfire, we went to the village to go to Mother's Heart to start this whole quest. And then we went there. So you know that? So watch this when I do this. Look at the size of this place. It's amazing. Oh, without a doubt, I think if Vita 2.0 is coming, I will definitely get one straight away. Ken, level 50 before I got to the Sun Palace. Yeah, I must admit, Ken, I was the Sun Palace. I played it without no help. I got it. I was doing it for the podcast, and I made a push towards the centre because I was worried when I first played it through. Zelda's not a touch on this, mate. Sorry, not even close. And you're talking to somebody who's finished every Zelda except the last one. When I played this, Ken, what I did, because I played it, I kind of got scared. You know, The Witcher, what I did with The Witcher, I played it on PC, and that game was vast at the time. And what I did, I kind of saw it as I was worried that this game was going to turn into a kind of Witcher scenario where it was too big to finish. And what I did for the show on The Witcher, I actually just concentrated on the storyline to get to the end. I didn't do much side questing. So what I did on this, when I got to around that 1920 mark, I was worried. And I was more worried it was going to get spoilt for me because I didn't want it to get spoilt. So I then just went straight to the Sun Palace City. And then as soon as I saw that, I then just ventured out and played the game normal. But it was brilliant. Is there a season pass for... No, Gypsy, I don't think there is. I think they should announce some single-player DLC at E3, but don't hold me to that. There's a few rumours flying around. Zelda is the superior game, everything is better. Go away, Jason, bugger off. Right, I'm going to have a break, I'll have a chat for a bit, guys, in the room, if anybody's interested. I can't believe I've been streaming this 2 hours. But you get things like that when you're playing a game that you're enjoying and totally immersed in. Time flies. Time flies. So tomorrow night then, I don't think I'll continue this stream. What I will do, I'll go to the Mafia 3 because it's a games rental. And if I play it for a couple of hours just to see get through it and stuff, because I'll probably send it back and continue my subscription to see if they can send me Wipeout or Date 4 next week might be a bonus. So we shall see. And we're recording. You might be pleased to know we are recording. We are recording the show on Sunday. We are going to put a section in that show for the fun bit we always have every year of E3 predictions, what games we think's coming, what we think's not going to be there. And we're going to have a prediction thing, bit of a fun, and then The E3 shows which follow, which don't forget we'll be recording on the Wednesday, so there'll be no show a week on Sunday. I might continue streaming, I don't know yet, I'm undecided, I'll see how it goes. Show on Wednesday for the E3, and then we'll bring them predictions back and have a bit of fun and see who gets most points. We'll do it on points system, shall we? Because it's always a bit of fun to see who does best. Speaking of Nintendo, if they drop a Pokemon game on the Switch, I'll buy one. Are you seriously thinking they're not going to? Will there be a Rambler next week, Gypsy? That is all down to Rickster. I'll ask him. I'll tell him you guys have been asking for a Rambler. What you guys want to do about the Rambler, you want to message Ricky and tell him. Because what you guys have got to realise about the show and the Rambler, I'm the most flexible person on the show. I can do whenever, whatever, what time. All the others, like especially the Rambler, is down to Ricky's schedule. So if you keep messaging Ricky and saying, are you doing a Rambler this week? He'll get the message, kind of. He's probably listening to this and cursing me. But in all seriousness, it's all down to his schedule. We always said that. But what you ought to do about the Rambler as well, you want to start sending some topics in. crankytoz@gmail.com. Start sending some topics in or anything you want us to talk about. You know that there's no holds barred on that show. I want an open world Pokemon game, imagine that. I've got to say, Jason, and I know it sounds like you're a big fan, I can't be done with Pokemon games. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I get the premise. You're walking around and trying to find shit that attacks shit. Juventus or Real Madrid, I think it'll be a cracking final. Don't forget, it's on BT's YouTube channel, free of charge to everybody. And if you go through your smart TV, you'll be able to watch it in 4K. And let's hope we can find that tomorrow. Because last week's, they bullshitted us and we couldn't find it. If anybody finds a link tomorrow night for the 4K feed, can you please just send it me? Who do I think's win? I don't think you can see past Real Madrid because of the quality of their players. However, you never, ever write an Italian team off in a European Cup final. Score prediction. If I'm having a bet tomorrow, I'll probably have a correct score bet and first goal scorer. I had a silly bet yesterday. I had a fiver on Bangladesh to beat England. Because I just thought they'd got a chance. And I wasn't too far off. There was 6-1 in a single bet. And I couldn't work that out how there was 6-1 because Bangladesh are, I think, either second or third in one-day ratings at the minute. They've beaten every other top team, I think, barring India. And on Thursday they had a practice match and scored about 300, I think. So I'd got a niggling feeling England's, tournament early nerves, and I stuck a fiver on them yesterday at 6-1, and they didn't do bad, 300 and something odd, but it was too hot yesterday, and England just coasted to it in the end. But score prediction, I would go for if I have a bet tomorrow night, which I probably won't because I'm short this time. But if I was having a bet tomorrow, I would go on both teams to score. Over 2.5 goals. I would go for... You'd have to say Ronaldo to score first, but I've just got a feeling he won't. But I've got a sneaking feeling that in the back of my mind, Juve might pinch it. I just have. I don't know why. I hope it's not one of the normal European Cup final 1-0 ball fests or 0-0 extra time shits. I want to see loads of... I want to see both teams come out and play brilliant, but they're not going to because Juventus are Italian, and Italians, when they get to European finals, are very tactical and play really good. But you see, Real Madrid are the best team around at the minute, I would say. So let's just hope it's a good final. I'll tell you what, let's hope it's as good as the FA Cup final. Because the FA Cup final was the first one I've watched for like 5 years, and it was fantastic. And Arsenal made that final. They played superb. They also won me 50 quid, but that's by the by. I wouldn't mind if Juve won, Gypsy, either. I think they've won their league. You see, I don't think Italian leagues and teams get kind of the credit they deserve. And I think it all boils down to TV coverage. Like, in this country, Sky shows all the La Liga matches every week. They show Real Madrid and Barcelona. You might as well have a fucking season ticket and a shirt for that. You see, we don't get Italian football now very often, if anywhere. So it kind of gets a bad press. So, like, none of us as regular football fans kind of can pick up on how good Italian football is right now. Remember the days when it used to be on Channel 4? I used to watch that quite a lot, and then you understood it. You knew who the best teams were. You could understand how well they were playing. Tomorrow, a lot of people are going in a bit blind because we don't get to see Italian football very often. For all we know, Juve could be absolutely fucking out of the fucking playing out of the skin. Yeah, it's on YouTube, Gypsy, free for everybody in 4K and in VR. But like I say, they promised the Man United European final last week was in 4K on YouTube, but it wasn't. It was just a normal HD picture on YouTube, and I wanted 4K because I want to try it on here. I want to see a TV company streaming live football in 4K for the first time because I want to see where it's heading. I might have to actually have a bit of that curry, by the way. Oh, sorry, Gypsy. Sorry, I mismeant it. Italian football's on BT, is it? I don't get BT Sport, you see. Does anybody know how the Australia-New Zealand match ended up? Did it end up getting sacked off because of the rain? Which is a shame. That was heading towards a good game as well. It was. By the way, my glorious fish tank is in need of some changes because them white pebbles, them beautiful white pebbles you guys saw me put in, I think I'm going to have to take them out because they've started going brown. Don't fucking ask me why they're going brown, because I have no clue. I have printed with ABS twice. I don't like it. I know that Paro is a bit of a fan of it, I think, but ABS, I don't like fucking about with heated beds and shit. I've said that all before. I stick with PLA, prints right every time, very few failures. ABS is just too much arsing about with the heated bed. ABS comes off the bed more times than you'll ever... You see, this is just my view. Para might have a different view because he's got a better printer. But from my personal views, ABS only prints... No, let me rephrase it. ABS, to me, if you was to get 30 items and print in ABS on a heated bed, in my honest opinion, you'd be lucky to get half of them go without any hitches. Now, my printer just prints PLA and has got no heated bed. I have about a 95% success rate, which is massive. You see, I wouldn't piss about with acetone either. It's so dangerous. It's evil to your skin. It's bad for fumes. It's very, very flammable. And honestly, I'll tell you, ABS is classed as being stronger. But you get these PLAs now that's got some chemical compounds that's been added that actually are being sold as super strong PLA. But I'll tell you something now, Rodney. When you get into it, mate, and get going, I know I always take the piss and say it's like the bane of all evil. Sanding is like a 3D printer's nightmare. You actually kind of get into a regime and don't mind it. Like this week with this... this requires a bit of sanding, actually. Although I've printed it in two. This is I can't stress. In fact, I'll put some 4K pictures up on my Twitter feed of how this has come out, and I'll do some close-ups. Got a bit of a overhang on that bit there. That forgot that it needed supports. I've got away with that a bit. But what I'll do, I'll put some 4K pictures of this. But this has come out really well. And what I would say about sanding, what I used to find myself doing, is we all watch TV series and shit. So when I come to sand this next week, I will literally sit, put a series on, and just sit and sand this while I'm sat here. Yeah, you keep saying PVA supports. Is PVA that one that? No, I'll put it on. I'll put it on Twitter later. I'll put some top quality photos on when I finish this stream in a minute. Yeah, Para's right. ABS is stronger, better finish if you use acetone, but PLA is more reliable, more stronger. Very rarely comes off the bed, and like I say, sanding ain't that too much of a pain for me. And I could show you my models painted, and I'll put my models up against any others. And I'll tell you, and I'll put this to you. I don't know how you guys think, especially Para. I don't know how you use the hobby. You all know how I use the hobby. I like printing gaming stuff, models, gaming guns. I've done some real good stuff. I've got lightsabers. I've got R2-D2. The whole point for me, I enjoy the whole thing. And by that I mean I enjoy the printing. I enjoy watching it come out. It still baffles me. But then I enjoy the sanding as a relaxation while I'm watching TV, like I said. I then love starting to put the paint on, like the grey bottom coat, and then I just love painting. I like getting the weather effects. I've got weather effects. I've got my own little paint station back here with all like proper weathering effects where I can put. I've got gold and silver paints, and I've got like soot and rust where I can add weather into metals and stuff, and that is what I like as the whole package. I just love that. PVA is water soluble, so when you finish your... Yeah, I've seen them. I thought that's what it was, Para. Are you going to be able to do that then with this new shit you're getting? You'll have to show me a bit of a clip of a video if you do. Matt, what is your top E3 prediction? Mine is Scorpio at 350, Vita 2 and new Metroid. Well, out of them three, I'll give you one of them. Well, that's two people that said Scorpio is going to be 350. I will plat shit if that's 350, but I won't go over old ground. You know my views. My prediction for E3. Don't want to give it away for the show on Sunday, but I probably will do now. I'd say Vita 2.0. My little secret one, and this is, hold me to this now, but I'm saying it now and it will be in my predictions on Sunday. Sony will announce that you'll be able to change your name on the day after the keynote. That's why the firmware is going to be changed. Already it's been changed, and it's going to be changed again. 350, I'm a bit of an Xbox fan, but that's grasping at public ears or pubic ears. It's no way it's going to be 350. We had a discussion last night. Would you buy one at 350? Matt, for the show, I'm going to have to say I'm going to buy one. I think the easiest answer to you is this, and I've said this before. I need one for the show, obviously, to do coverage for all games, because I like to cover all games. But will have to seriously ask myself a question, as I'm guessing most of you will. If that machine is 500 quid plus, I will seriously have to ask myself a question along the point of, I will seriously sit back and say, look, I need to know what's going to be playing on it. If I'm going to seriously throw £500 at this machine, I don't want to be playing Forza 7, Halo 6, Gears 5. I need them to show me some brand new shit that's going to make me feel that £500 is value for money. I know them games will be good. I know them games will be really cool for all the fans and shit, but I'm not throwing that kind of money to play it again. Just not going to do it. 399's Para's prediction. I think 450 plus. But I still, I'll say my prediction on the show, and I'll say it now. I think it's going to be $499, personally. I think they'll call it an Xbox Elite. I've got a feeling that it's going to be called the Elite, Matt. I don't know why. I think it's going to be called Xbox Elite. I think that's a good name on that one. But yeah, my big secret prediction to win some points: Sony will announce you can change the names of your account on the day of E3. I want it to be $399, but I know Xbox will want it to be premium product. It's got to be $500 definitely. Surely if it's $450, they know the whole. Matt, they've actually said the word hardcore has been used by Phil Spencer on numerous occasions over the last 6 months, and kind of what I touched on last night when we was having this discussion, but I'll just remind you, is Phil Spencer has quoted the word hardcore gamer. It's for the hardcore gamer, air quotes, numerous occasions, and I said this to Para and other people in the room last night. If Xbox will know how much they're going to sell it for right now. There's no way on God's green earth, always 6 months away, and they not know the ins and outs of it, because it's a business deal. It's a business sense. Me personally, if it was going to be $350, $400, I don't think Phil Spencer would have used the words hardcore when pressed. I think he would have used the words on the similar ilk of, I think we're going to be competitive. But he doesn't. He keeps reminding us it's going to be hardcore gamers. And he even said in that same thing, there's always Xbox One S for the other players. And nobody's remembered that quote either. So not only does he say hardcore all the time, he always says, don't forget we've got the Xbox One S. So that to me kind of speaks that that's what's there. And £500 for me is about what he's going to say. Do you know what? I'm not sure if that was predicted. I think he was asked that question, is the Elite controller going to be in the box? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Personally, I don't think it will be, because I think Microsoft like making money on their extra bits. Let's not forget the hard drives they wanted to flog us for £300 10 years ago. And I think that Elite controller, they're still plugging it heavy. They're still showing some nice designs of it, some more SKUs. When do Microsoft don't bring more SKUs out of anything that they've ever made? And I just think the Elite, unless they put, this could be an option for you. This might be a bold thing. I do think they might put a redesigned controller in the box. I don't think it'll be same as the old one, but I don't think it'll be the Xbox Elite. What I think will be a middle one. I think there'll be a middle one. If it's $500, Microsoft will sell off the Xbox. I've said that on the show 4 or 5 years ago, but people, when I stated that Microsoft were contemplating, there's rumours going around that Microsoft were going to sell the Xbox division, I got some really shit comments. You know, like the bad comments I normally get with the trolls. That triggered a lot of people sending really shit comments for a few weeks. But I've said that for a long time. But I honestly believe that it'll be, I think $499 just is the bang on. And what you've also got to remember, guys, if it's $499 in America, which I think's a nice price to them, it's going to be £499 here. There'll be no dollar equivalent bullshit. It never is, never has been. I think it'll be $499 and £499. Definitely. Let me just grab my camera and see if I can pull some nice shots off for this thing. 1 second, guys. Oh, that wasn't a very intelligent thing to do. Fuck. Alright, let me just try and... I don't think we'll get some good pictures here, I don't think. The thing is, Xbox... The Xbox is pennies for Microsoft compared to the company shares. Yeah. I've said it all along. And I don't want to get into that argument again, but I will tell you now, as I've said all along, a lot of gamers think Microsoft think that the Xbox is a division of Microsoft that's big and important to them. And it isn't. It's just an offshoot. Likelihood of Sony teasing PS5, 100%. I'm still going for mine. And I've told you all, if that happens at the end of that show, I'm suing Microsoft. Definitely. I'm suing Microsoft for pinching out. Not Microsoft, Sony, sorry. I'm Sony. If they put a curtain up with that at the end and just saying PS5 2018, I'm suing them. Sony's going to get sued by me. And I'm joking, of course. I've had a text message. And I want to get rid of that shit text message because I'm sick to death. A bullshit shit. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to try and get some photos. Some close-ups. Let me crack the flash. I never use the flash. The lighting's a bit shit, but we shall see. You will see on this first picture an anomaly underneath where I didn't realise it would need supports. Actually, the flash hasn't kicked in. So I'll tell you what, bear with, guys, and I'll stick these on Twitter in a second, but I'm going to put the flash on and see what difference that makes. Jesus. You will see where I should have had supports on that, but I can sand that down. Right, unless the Vita 2 is their PS5 and they follow Nintendo's lead. Too early for PS5. They cannot. Jason, you do know that it is coming. They've already. It's virtually. It's coming out in 2018, and the specs have leaked and everything. You have seen that story, haven't you? You're not just like saying that for thingy. It's a true thing. The only story that anybody's talking about is will they announce it at E3? They might not announce it at E3 because they've got 2 shows later on in the thing, don't forget. That's that one, last piece, and then I'll stick these on. I'm going to take 2 more pictures of this piece. I'm going to show you the good side to this gun. And then I'll show you the side of the bit where it... This is where the supports were. Yeah, it's been leaked. I've said it. It's been leaked. It was leaked. I said this on the show, but I'll quickly repeat it. In the history of Sony, there's been one guy that leaked information about the PS2, PS3, 2 years prior to its release. Not only did he leak, he was more famous for leaking the one about, because it was all rumoured about the HD back in the day. Well, what he actually did was leaked a picture of the back of the PS3 showing the HDMI 2 years before that machine came out. And he also leaked specs of the design. Now, this guy has done it for the PS2, the PS3, and this information about the PS5, very small specs, 8 belly flops, and whatever. But he said it's going to be released in 2018. But it's from the same guy who has never been wrong before. That's why it was given so much credibility last month when it was leaked. Parrot, I don't see Sony announcing a system. I've got to say, I think the Vita things, it's this thing definitely in motion. But I just want to touch on as well. Don't forget they have their Tokyo Game Show later in the year and the Vegas one later in the year. So as I said on some of these streams earlier, don't be surprised if they do miss things out at E3 because they've got 2 other big things. Right, let me just take this picture of, is that the bad side? Yeah, this second picture is the bad side of where the supports were, because it was lying on its side. Right, let me see if I can bang them up to Twitter for you. They're not going to be top quality, guys, because I'm taking them in the dark. No point me even buying a PS4, then I'll play the PS4 exclusive on the PS5 when they remaster them. if you are in the market for a PS4 seriously, or you was just like thinking, I would say definitely wait till E3 next week just to find out what is the shit. But I don't think they'll do it anyway. Ah, James, if you're still in the room, I've seen your picture of your headset. I remember them. Right, let me just try and get these pictures up for you. Again, apologies because I'm taking them in the dark. Right, I'm just adding 4 pictures. Putting this for the stream. But they're not that good because they're in the dark, but you'll get an idea. And that's just been clicked, so how long it takes them to upload. 4 pictures will be uploaded in a minute. Use the fancy nighttime mode to take the pictures. Oh, is there one? I've not pissed about with the camera, to be honest. Let me have a look at this. Let me have a quick look then. And why have we got a nighttime mode? Do we have to do some fancy shit? Live? Oh my god. Auto, Pro, Panorama, Selective Focus. Is that Selective Focus that new posh fucking mode where they do something in the foreground and then it's like snazzy in the background? Slow motion, hyperlapse, whatever the fuck that is. Food, they've got a section for food things. Virtual shot. You're not telling me this camera actually does virtual, like 3D shit. Video collage and live broadcast. So you can live broadcast from this phone. I wonder where that goes then. What does that do? Holy shit. I've got to have a play now. Sorry guys, I'm being boring now. What happens? I'm just going to press live broadcast, see what it does. Welcome to live broadcast. Broadcast and share live videos on YouTube. Holy shit. I could become a vlogger. I could become the new British Roman Atwood. What do you reckon? Then again, what kind of people would get pretty fucking bored with my wouldn't they? They'd get bored with my shit, wouldn't they? Hold your hand out with your palm facing the camera to have your picture taken after a few seconds. No way. So if I hold my hand out with my palm facing the camera, no way I'm not hitting that fucker. Wait, I'm just trying it. Bear with me. I want to try this mode. So if I do that and I put my palm of my hand in front of the camera, put it up. Holy fuck. That is the best selfie camera. Not that I'm a big selfie fan. So if normally you're getting your eyes and all that shit. So if I hold that up, and I then put my palm up and it sees it, it puts a timer up. Has it got to be at the top? Didn't do it that time, did it first time? So I put my palm up. Why isn't it doing it this time? It did it first time. I read today that Nintendo Online is £20 for the year. Oh, really interesting. Or can I ask anybody in the room now what the fuck... I'm sorry, but what's worth 20 quid? This ain't working now. It worked for the first picture and it's not working. What bullshit's that? Well, guys, that's Billy bullshit. It started first and it's not doing it. And they have no plans to ATM bring Virtual Console to it. So, why ain't this working now? So, this is boring fucking streaming, but I'm about ready to pack in away and I might have a bit of that thing. They've delayed paid online until next year. What, and it's going to be 20 quid? They've got to delay online paid till next year. There's fuck all to play on it. Well, guys, this is bullshit for this camera mode. Absolute Billy bullshit. Oh, me and Paras had a joke about Nintendo Online shit for years. When we first got to speaking together, we had fucking all sorts of problems with it. That's my phone dropped. Anyway, right, selfie time. Palm in the front. Why the fuck ain't that working now? It's annoying. It has to be at the side of your face. Wait then. I've got to try it once more, then I'm putting my phone down. So I'm ready for a selfie, looking great. I put my palm up against my face. Yep, it finds it, then I go. That is real. I do like that. I've got to say, I'm not a selfie fan, but that is bollocks. I still love my screens, though. It even used the words on the screen to say selfie. I love it. I love this fucking camera. And I love the fucking sweep things to the side. I really do. Hi mate, did you watch Question Time? I wouldn't watch Question Time if it was the last programme on Earth. Wow, what we missed on Question Time. It weren't about politics, was it? The weather forecast is 40% chance of rain with a low UV and it's 15 degrees centigrade with light rain currently in Summercoats. Yeah, Mario Kart works fine online. It's not... The whole thing with Nintendo is all this bollocks about... I mean, you think, right, let's start from scratch. They've got a great family. They've got the 3DS, which is the world's best-selling gaming machine, period. Millions upon millions of people own them. They've then had the Nintendo consoles throughout the year. Modern consoles, they've had 3. Why can they not now give you or I a single account with one fucking sign-up, one username, to go on to Nintendo.com or wherever the fuck they want to send us, and then all that shows me, oh look, I'll register my Wii, I'll register my Wii U, I'll register my Switch, I'll register my 3DS. Yes, they're linked to my account. Get said fucking console. Do you wish to sign online? Yes. I'll sign on with my fucking name and password at Nintendo.com. Well done, you've signed in with your name. Here is your devices. Which one do you want to use? Bang, I'm using the 3DS. Welcome, bollocks, done, job. Then you click it. Craig, I said this the other week, and I might have said it on a stream, and it's the only politics I'm ever going to speak. I think calling that election might kick in the fucking backside. I honestly believe Labour might get in. That's all I'm going to say about it. But anyway, back to Nintendo. The friends thing is bullshit, and I want to say this, and I've said it many times. I get why the friend codes was introduced. I get why that infrastructure was made way back in the day. Nintendo were a child-friendly company. I've always been that way. However, I'll give them the benefit of the fucking doubt and say, keep it for the Wii. Keep it for the Wii U just. But we are now in modern times where the Switch is a step in a fantastic direction of becoming a mobile, brilliant device for gaming. Period. But why the fuck aren't you copying your competitors who both have a pretty damn simplistic, clever, usable, friendly online infrastructure? No. You still want us to fuck about with codes and this and different accounts, and I just cannot get my head around. And my whole problem with it is this. you'd class Nintendo and the Japanese people are the most fucking intelligent people on planet Earth. Why aren't they seeing this? Why aren't they seeing what every single other human being fucking gamer on planet Earth sees, that it needs to be brought into modern times? They could have all the security they want. They could have any bit of security that any fucking company wants to put in. But we're living in a time where the infrastructure can be just so much better. And I believe for gamers such as ourselves that want to get into Nintendo and play games, and they're talking about this online charge, well, okay, you might be doing something. But I believe that today there are still people like you and I that seriously turn round and say, fuck it, I can't be bothered. Honestly, I cannot. I've been invited to Mario Kart shit back in the day on the Wii U and on whatever, and I've been invited for Mario Karts on the Switch now, and you know what? Can't be fucked. Can't be bothered swapping my code with a mate or starting a room. Although I will say that when me and Ricky played the Mario Kart for a test out when I first got it, it worked quite decently and was quite okay. So it works really good. It's just the old backbone of it that's bullshit. I'm going to set my alarm early to pre-order a SNES Classics when it announced. Do you think... You see, they're not doing keynotes, are they? They're doing that bollocks, aren't they? Let me throw a question open to the room. Yeah, it's mobile app, isn't it? That's the biggest bullshit on planet Earth. And that, I'll tell you now, that's just ready for an epic failure. What about the 60-70% of people that's got an iPhone, that's got no fucking headphone jack for a microphone or anything like that, or bullshit? I know that you could go through the console probably, but how's that even going to work? How are you going to connect a mobile app to then chat to your friends? What? Where? What? Again, a lot of fucking about for unnecessary shit. So, yeah, Nintendo, let me throw a question open to the, right, well, again, fucking about with cables again, John. Just stupid. Would you guys like to see Nintendo go to a kind of keynote a la Microsoft, Sony? I would. I'd love it to be back like the old days where it was Microsoft, Sony and then Nintendo. Proper keynotes on stage. And I can't understand why they don't. Because it's not as if they've got any... they've not got enough decent content. And I'll tell you something, I might be wrong in this, but I don't know what you guys think. I honestly believe that half of Nintendo's choice of giving it a fuck it when it comes to keynotes and how it was. Remember the really sad thing that fucked up when Miyamoto came on stage and all his Wii fucking remotes came out of sync, and they'd got this big reveal done. I think it was Mario Kart, and they'd got this big reveal ready, and it went tits up, and he was on stage and he looked like a right dick, and it went really bad. I honestly believe that Nintendo took a decision from that moment in the house to say, we ain't doing that again. We ain't going on stage and making ourselves look fucking stupid. And I really believe that's what happened behind closed doors. Yeah, if there is going to be any announcement for the PS5, it will just be a little thing like a montage or the very ending, like I've always said for the last 3 months. Nintendo have always done their own thing and they've always had success, correct? And in some form or another, I think their core audience gives them... Probably another bit of your question coming, Jason. But yeah, I agree, mate. Nintendo... And people say, why don't Nintendo do this or do that or do... They don't really need to. We're all in here pissing and moaning and they don't need to. They've got the world's best-selling handheld world's best gaming device ever. That alone is like, fuck it. I'm not bothered about anything else. But I still go back to that thing I said last night. Why... on God's green earth, have you created a piece of hardware, the little NES, $49.99? Why have you made a piece of hardware that cannot be impossible? It cannot be hard to manufacture. It's a fucking small board. with all the shit on it in a plastic thing that takes probably 20 minutes in a factory to knock together. But the demand for it is so much that it is selling for thousands and thousands of dollars on the black market. Why do you now decide to discontinue it after a year? That is like, what the fuck are you doing? And I know people will probably come and say what they said last night. Well, they're going to get ready for the SNES. And? So what? The NES was the first generation of Nintendo's move into gaming. The SNES's was the step up in the quality. So what if there's two? That is one of the biggest baffling decisions, I think. Because I'll tell you why it's baffling. The actual business sense of manufacturing that console must be fucking pence to Nintendo. Pence. That thing can't cost more than what? 10 quid to make? If that. They could sell them by the fucking lorry load. That is one of the craziest gaming business sense ideas I think I can never work out. They can churn them out in the factory. Well, probably a fucking $500,000 a day, I'm thinking. What if Sony bring out PS4 Pro 4K drive for films? That could kill Microsoft. I mean, for 2005. If you could told someone they'll have a handheld with 2 screens, they'd laugh. Yeah, definitely. Not very good company there. They live in the past. Yeah, you forget that Nintendo is a tiny organisation. I think modern system development is beyond them. It can't be though, Para, can it? I mean, it's Japanese fucking industry for one. It can't be hard to get them moving. They're selling, like I said, they've sold the best console of all time. They've just manufactured one of the best ideas in gaming pushed forward for years. So if you're saying that they're kind of small organisation, surely it's in the last 20 years, even them, in fact, the money they generated from the Wii when that went fucking global, that alone should have told them, guys, maybe it's time we actually fucking got his fingers out of his arses and actually get moving. So then fast forward to the 3DS that they're churning out by the fucking lorry load, or they should be. Now the Switch, which is like a brilliant breath of fresh air to gamers, why would you not expand? Why would you not be churning them out the fucking door? Will we see a PlayStation Classic? I don't think these consoles need it, because I don't think the Sony needs it. I don't think Microsoft need anything like that, because they're clever enough to put back compat in, aren't they? Really? Yeah, but you get where I'm coming from. Nintendo obviously are churning it out. This fucking headset's making my head itch. Why not make something like the Cube? Oh, the GameCube was one of the best consoles ever. Let me ask you all a question. I think when I first started podcasting some 10 years ago, I used to say this quite a few times on the show. But let me ask you guys something. Serious question. Would you all like there to be one definitive console that all the manufacturers produce games for? That Nintendo put games on it, that Sony put games on it, Microsoft put games on it. Would you all love to see one snazzy little box or whatever and all of them put games on it? The Switch's Tegra system with a Nintendo sticker on. Yeah, it's that, because it's basically a tablet, isn't it? Let's be honest. You strip the Switch down, it's a fucking tablet. I think the Switch is expensive for the tech you get. I don't think it is, Matt, to be honest. I think it's not that bad. And I think also, what a lot of people don't quite get either, the actual Joy-Cons, which is a fucking stupid... We know they're not very good at naming shit, we know that. The Joy-Cons, the design and the way... I think they're just... they're brilliant. They're just so clever. They'd have a monopoly and games would cost £80 each. Well, no, probably not, Matt. You think about it logically. There's one machine that all of them can put games on. So say Nintendo bring Mario out. Well, Mario this month, guys, is going to cost you 30 quid. Sony are going to then say, well, we've got Uncharted 5 here, look. We're going to knock that out at 35 quid. there could be an undermining, you know, the big games for that company would bring them out, but they're playable on one machine. It'd be an interesting thing. It'll never happen, obviously. Nintendo work best when they make crazy games for their own systems. They limit. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was only a fucking crazy fly-by-night question on my part, but it would be mental. I love my clock on the side of my phone, but on the side of my phone, I think that's brilliant. Is it Friday? It's Friday. It's fucking Friday. Shit. I'll tell you why I'm sounding a bit surprised, because it's Friday, because the bins have gone out of sync, haven't they? Because it was a bank holiday on Monday and all the bins go a day out of sync, so it throws my brain out. Don't take much to throw my brain out, mind you. So, I think I could knock this fan off, can I now? Or my back's hurting now, though. Is it too late to have a bit of my curry? Alexa, time is it?
It's 10:29 p.m.
Is it too late to have some curry? I suppose back in the day when you was on the piss on a Friday night, you were eating kebabs at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've always wondered why Apple didn't try harder with gaming. Yeah, I think Apple may have missed a trick at some point. You know, when they first pushed mobile iPhone gaming and kept showing you games on iPads and shit, and it went like through the fucking roof, and we got all that controversy of in-game app charges and shit. When that was rife and like crazy time, I wouldn't be surprised if they behind closed doors. I'm going to ask that in a minute, Jason, see what she says. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, why didn't they do it? And I wouldn't be surprised if some secret place in their little glass houses under Apple Mountain, there was a prototype made and saying, look, shall we push to the market? I'll tell you what I am surprised they never did. And this is, and let me tell you this, I'll tell you now, I can't believe they never bought an actual controller, whether it be a tiny fucking thing like a Joy-Con size, or a decent like Xbox controller size. I cannot believe that Apple, having pushed the mobile market of gaming onto the world and it went so fucking crazy, I was blown away by the fact that they didn't think of, I know, why don't we sell a fucking controller? Can you imagine what an Apple designed controller for the iPad and iPhone would have looked like? It would have been like, wow. It would have been a museum piece. But I'm amazed they didn't bring that out. That would have been a bit of nice marketing, I think. Definitely. Let's ask this curry question. She's not going to answer it. Alexa, is it too late to eat a curry?
I couldn't find that one, but I'm working on adding more local businesses.
Alexa, is it too late to eat?
I couldn't find that one, but I'm working on adding more local businesses.
When you mention eat, she looks for like takeaways and shit locally. I like the Sony phone with the slide. Oh, that was the, what's it that died on its backside, wasn't it? What was it called? Oh, what the fucking old thing was that called? With the Sony moved to the mobile market, weren't it, and made it into a not Neo. Why have I got Neo Geo in my head? Somebody will say it in the room what it was. Definitely. I must admit though, I've never ever got into mobile gaming. Never. I hated it when it was first talked about. I think if you go back in the history of the show, and you hear me talk about mobile gaming, I never got it, never understood it. I thought it was evil. I just didn't like the whole premise. And I know that it still sells well and it's now got its own market, but I think it kind of imploded on itself when all the pay thing shit went off, and you know, it was in charges and in-app purchases were the big thing, and I think that just actually kind of made it, you know, a bit of a pain in the backside for a lot of families. They didn't want anything to do with it anymore. And I've got to say, there isn't a single game on this phone, and there probably never will be, I know for a fact it plays games really well because I've seen videos and shit. But there's not a game on here, and there never will be. And I want to tell you an even better story. There's not a mobile game on my iPad either. I don't do it. When people tell me on the show, or you guys say, "Oh, try this, whatever," I'll look at it. I'll probably put it on my phone for a second. But I don't think there's ever been a mobile game that I've gone and played it more than once, other than Hearthstone, which I will admit Hearthstone was a very, very playable game. By the way, I was meaning to stream what's it the other night. I didn't know if anybody would be interested. I've got Gwent, the open beta that's arrived this week for everybody. I was going to stream some Gwent if anybody was interested, but I don't think you would have been. But anyway, Broken Sword on the iPad. How does that play, Matt? If you don't know, I am a Broken Sword fanatic. Absolutely played every single one, finished every one. One of my favourite genres of all time. I love them games. And if you've not played the one on the consoles this generation, Xbox or PlayStation, you ought to play it. It's a nice 4 or 5 hour game, and it's really clever. You've got to be thinking like it though, and that's a genre as well that you really... I could give Broken Sword 5 to somebody that's not touched one ever, and I think Ricky actually said this because he'd never played them before, and it was like baffling to him. He didn't get it, he didn't like it, he'd no fucking clue what to do, what the story was, how the game played, and yet somebody like me, who had absolutely played right through the franchise, knew the ethos, knew the people, but more importantly, knew the actual game style from front to back. I sat down with that game, got a review copy, and I finished it in like 2 or 3 days. Because I knew the actual... And it's the brainwave. It's like the Monkey Island scenario. You sit a person down with Monkey Island that's never played them, and they'd absolutely find it awful. They wouldn't understand the puzzles, they wouldn't understand the mentality. But anybody who's played Monkey Island throughout the years instantly knows the brain and ethos of that franchise. There's not enough of them games out. I like them. But they're not popular nowadays, are they? Because they're not fast-paced enough. We live in a gaming generation now where it's fast-paced, and I want it 100 mile an hour. I want to be blowing shit up. I want to be running about, and I want to be doing this, that, and the other. There's a bit of fucking grey matter needed. Everybody's like, what we got to do? What? It's too slow. By the way, I heard something the other day, and I actually was tempted to try this. You guys, you'd actually probably would make a nice actual stream game. I didn't realise that one of my favourite games of the year that was brought out, that was everybody's gone to the Rapture, or as you guys take the piss, Walking Simulator. I didn't realise till I watched some old video the other day on YouTube where Everybody's Gone to the Rapture has got quite, not an easy one, but it's got a decent platinum on it that you could actually get if you enjoyed the game. I didn't know there was a platinum trophy on it. That would make a really good stream game if you guys had never seen it and you've all kind of took the piss out of it over the time. That game only got beat to my game of the year for that year by Tomb Raider. I would have given Everybody's Gone to the Rapture my game of the year that year. Matt, do I read much? Yes. A shitload. I love reading. In fact, I don't read enough because I'm doing other shit. I've got my Kindle on the coffee table. Actually, I might read that tonight because I finished Prime Suspect 1973. The book I've got on my Kindle at the minute is Prime Suspect 1973. I'm about halfway through it. So I think I might start reading it to see if the book's better than the programme. And also, the Prime Suspect novels are serials. If you look on Amazon, they're actually, because Linda LaPlante wrote them, there's a lot of them. And Tennyson and that 1973 is a series. I've just started Until Dawn, quite like it. The sections where you have to hold the pad still. Brilliant. Great game. We've talked about it a lot on the show. I think all the guys have finished it now. I've said this to everybody, Matt, and it's worth doing. Are you playing it on PlayStation? I think, is it PlayStation exclusive? I think it is, isn't it? Is it me being thick? Anyway, there's a mode in the settings, Scare Cam. If you've got a camera, PlayStation camera, go into the settings and put that on. It's one of the cleverest, brilliant things I've ever seen. Stick some headphones on, play it like this time of night. If you've got a camera, go and change the settings. Oh, you're kidding me. It's brilliant, man. What it does, it takes like a 10-second snippet of, I mean, I'll give a spoiler away because it's very early in the game. The very first jump scare when the dog jumps out the cupboard and it makes you shit yourself. Well, if you'd got the scare cam on, you're sat there like this dark and you've got headphones on and you're like panicking because it's shit scared. The game knows that's coming. At the moment that cupboard opens and the dog jumps out and you go, fucking hell, and shit yourself, the camera records about 10 seconds of it. And I tried it, and the thing it came up with was brilliant. The camera zooms in, this camera obviously because it's quite clever, zoom right into my face, and then it's got like a cut screen, a split screen where it shows you the game being played, where it is, like you was going to the cupboard, and then my face, and then opened the cupboard, and then jumped out, and literally, no word of a lie, my control went up in the air, and it shit you up, scared you to death. It's one of the cleverest features I've seen in a horror game that I think should be implemented in all of them. I think it's a brilliant little thing. And it also, now, what it should do, what would be clever in the menus, imagine if that pops up, does the scare cam, and then lets you instantly send it to YouTube or send it to Twitter. In fact, I bet you can, actually. It wouldn't surprise me if you can. But that mode is brilliant. If you can get a PlayStation camera, you want to try it. It's really good. Really fun. I think they'll announce a sequel soon. Yeah, there is many chat rumours going around that there will be a sequel to that game. Obviously, they need the film stars to take part. Can't be the same ones, I don't think. PSA, if you subscribe, new sub to 12 months, PlayStation Plus. Yes, but I can stop you there, Para, because everybody's pissed and moaned to me about this story. You only get Battlefront Star Wars if you've not been a PlayStation subscriber before. It's new subscribers only. It doesn't work for current subscribers. Have I played Resident Evil 7? I played Resident Evil 7 for about 45 minutes in VR. The effects was phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. My daughter played it a bit longer. She nearly broke my VR. She's into horror films. She's one of these teenagers that goes to... oh, sorry, mate. Have I misread it? Yeah, sorry. I've just seen the brackets. I apologise. But basically, my daughter, who's into horror films, she played it a bit longer. She got to one of the big jump scares early on, and she nearly broke my PSVR. She just ripped it off her head. Headphones went. Fucking everything else went. Screaming. She goes, I know I've done. I've finished. I says, all right, calm down. So, no, I've not finished the game itself. I'm not a big horror game fan. Resident Evil's, looks dated for me. I don't like it. Yeah, Matt, I've heard everybody say that it's a great game. They brought it back to the new / old style Resident Evil. A lot of people said it was a great remake. I weren't that bothered. To be honest, I only got it because it was like the big chat for the VR at the time. And the VR is brilliant. Really, have you tried it? You tried it? I bet you've not had a chance to try it in VR, have you, Para? No? Question to the room before I contemplate going getting a coffee and a curry. How many of you would change your PlayStation names if it was announced a week on Monday? There's a question for you. How many in the room would change your PlayStation ID if they announce it next week? I would, for one, straight away. me. Where does your name come from, if you want to explain to us? I'd be quite intrigued. You don't have to if you don't want to. I've always seen your name. It's the same on Twitter. You've spoke to me for quite a few years with the show and stuff. And I've always been intrigued what your name entailed. But you don't have to say if you don't want. I know that names can be personal. I would, but it would depend on the price, because it wouldn't be free. I'm guessing that was a typo, Matt. I think if they do it, I think they might give everybody a free first one like Xbox does. You can get the first one free and then the rest are charged. Let me just say this as well. If and when it does happen, they will have... I've heard a lot of people piss and moan and say, oh, why are they charging us money to change his name? They're ripping us off. They've got to charge money. I've no problem with it. Of course they've got to charge money, because it stops all the morons just constantly changing the name every 5 fucking seconds, which clogs up the network and fucks up all the system. Of course they've got to charge. I don't have a problem with it. And if they charge more than £10, then they want fucking, basically. Yep, that's what I've just said with the delay. Spot on. I think they might give a free one for the first one, though. Here we go. When I got the Xbox on launch, I had to pick a name. So I went for Paramonos. Wanted a single name with no numbers. And is it linked? Is it a word? Am I missing something? The thing on the Xbox, Matt, if I remember rightly, when it originally started where you could change your name, it was done on Microsoft points, weren't it? Can't you remember the Microsoft points system? Who remembers all that bullshit? It's an ancient Greek and means endurance constancy. That should say consistency or constancy. There you go. What, is that the word paramonos? And am I saying it right, by the way? It's always the way I've said it. Or does it come with the doctor bit at the front? Or is that there because you are a doctorate? Oh, yeah, don't even start me on that fucking problem. I remember that was bullshit, weren't it? I'm going to do photo mode. Should we ever play with the photo mode, look? Just join the chat room. Hi, Alex. We've been here for a long time, mate. We're just here for 3 hours and we've about done, I think. I'm starving. And I've got a curry lined up. That's how I say it. Paramonas was taken on Twitter and Google, so I had a doctor. Because I have a PhD. Well, there you go. Well done to you. Is this doing this because this game's paused? Right, let me try and get that. Christian, oh, you're on your girlfriend's account again. Hi, Benji. How are you, matey? Random question. How much do tattoos hurt? Yeah. Don't let anybody convince you they don't either. Because they fucking do. Question I've get asked a lot. I'll tell you what I will say. Such ones, small ones, the ones on my chest here, my red devil here. But you're not going to see it on the room. I've got a red devil there. Let me watch my controller. All my 90 quid fucking controllers going on the floor. I've got a red devil there that you can probably just catch a glimpse of. I've got the Derby Ram there. They don't kind of hurt. I've got a big one on my arm here. This one was another foolish move back in the day. You're not going to be able to see it on there. I've got a big one there. That's a nice flower design, but that's been butchered because it had names on like a fucking idiot when I was 20. They hurt when they get bigger. I've also got... I've got a couple of tribal ones up there. That little one there was my very first tattoo when I was 16. It looks fucking awful now. But that there is supposed to be one of them things that goes round your arm. But there's a problem. It's a bit of a problem. And I'll tell you a funny story. Because I'd started a bit of a tribal thing, I was going to go up my shoulder with there. That was the start. Then I'd got that there. And it was going to cover this bit, because I was going to have it from there going up onto my shoulder. But then when I went for this one, this was when tattoos were starting to get popular. And then obviously when we figured that out, that was charged me 45 quid. and he wanted another 40 quid to finish it off, to go round, because this should have actually gone round a normal person's arm. But as you can see, my arms are a tad large. And when it didn't go round, he said, oh, I can charge you another 40 quid on. I says, you can fuck off and all. So that only ever stayed as that. Now, I would get up, but I won't. But I've got a massive design across my back, from shoulder to shoulder and about that big. It's a oriental head with like a coloured cloak. Looking old now. I've not even looked in a mirror for years about that one. I'll tell you what I'll do. When my daughter comes up next time, I'll get her to take a photo of my back one, and I'll post it on Twitter so you can have a look. It looks really old now and stuff. What's the healing time like? There's a big thing about tattoos. Obviously, if you're thinking about one and stuff, massive, massive, massive golden rule, and it'll be hard not to do it. Do not fucking touch it for the entire healing purpose. It bleeds like fuck, because that's what tattoos do. It bleeds like anything. They'll cover it up, try and put some cream on it a few days, keep it cool, keep it washed, keep it clean, but then it'll really scab over like a really bad scab, like you've cut yourself badly. Do not fucking touch that scab at all. If you pick that scab, even in the slightest, tiniest way, you will lose colour from your tattoo. Because we all know, or you should know, what happens with a scab with the human body. A scab is a protection, the body's way of protecting your skin while it heals underneath. Now, I know probably everybody in this room, and me included, when you was a kid or even as an adult, if you had a big fucking scratch or something with a scab on it, you couldn't help but pick it off. Now, if you remember, if you pick that off, it's all wet underneath because it's not healed. Now, let me ask you another question. If you've picked a scab off when it's nearly finished, when it's been there for a long time, and it literally falls off, you will see a very thin layer of fine skin, like white skin. That's what you have to do with a tattoo. You have to leave it that long that it falls off, because then it's protected layer and the tattoo's taken into your skin. When I was younger, a really crappy tattoo on this arm, that was my second tattoo. You can't really see it because I've got airy arms. But there's like a real shitty, stupid one here, another one I'd like covering up. That was one I picked. I literally sat and picked it one day, and it took total chunks of colour out my arm. But when I had them, they were like, tattoos weren't even popular then, not at all. But the two latest ones, silly name that I want covering up. Stupid. Never do that, by the way. Big tip of the fucking year. But that's my favourite tattoo I've got at the minute. That's my daughter. And it's one of the best written tattoos I've ever seen by a tattooist. It's so neat. That's got my daughter's name, and then underneath it's got the Chinese symbol for the word daughter. I've got Tom and Jerry on my calf. That hurt like a bastard. And I think that may be it. But going back to hurting, the one on my back, it's the only ever time having a tattoo when I've actually had got the words in my mouth to say to them, can you please stop? It was an August summer day, red hot, stuck in a very small tattooist room. I had two sessions. First session was the black outline for the whole back piece, because what the plan was as this guy's head, it's got a guy's head in the middle, and he's got a big cloak. It's got a big cloak like that goes round to my shoulders. And then what the plan was, that was the start, and then below the shoulders was going to be two giant geisha girls stood up in red cloaks, stood with them umbrellas going down the side of my back. And then in the middle space that was empty was a big coiled red dragon with the head coming up in the middle, and it was a full back piece. But I just couldn't afford to have that done at the time. I was going to come to that, Matt. There's an old fallacy that the fill-in hurts more than the outline. The outline can hurt, depends where it is. It can hurt, and it also depends on the tattooist. Tattooing's a very skillful thing to do. If you've got a butchery tattooist that's a bit heavy-handed, it will fucking hurt you. If you've got a skillful tattooist, it'll be just mild pain. Now, my back, going back to that story, was, I think it was a 1.5 hour session for the outline and then a 3 hour session for the fill. So I went on the first day and he did the outline hour and a half, no problem. Bit painful because it's across your shoulder blades and he catches a few bones and a bit thin places. But it's the kind of thing you get used to. That's what I was trying to tell you. It is a weird pain. Some people actually enjoy it, by the way. I know that might sound a bit sadistic, but I kind of get where they're coming from. I don't mean this to be sexist either, but women struggle with tattoo pain. And I speak from experience from my first wife, my second wife. Both had a couple of tattoos, and I know for a fact they just seem to struggle with that pain. And it's not the pain itself immediate, it's the longevity of it I think I can kind of relate to. It's like having sunburnt scratched. Kind of, yeah, I'm with you there, but you've got to think what you're at. It's an actual needle going in and out your skin like a fucking 1,000 times a second. And because it's moving, I'll tell you this. When you first sit down for your first ever tattoo, it will the first initial bang of it going in will hurt like a bastard, will be very uncomfortable, and I'll tell you why, because it'll be shock. And it'll be nerves, because you'll have been sat there building yourself up, you'll have been shitting yourself, you'll have been told all these fucking stories, and at the moment it goes in, it is a bit of an alarming fucking thing. But what you've got to realise, a tattooist will sit there, try and make you relax, and the way they tattoo, they get the pen and it goes, zzz, and he'll stop, wipe it, zzz, stop, wipe it. So just remember that yes, in some parts it's going to hurt you a fucking lot, but he's only doing it in small section, and he'll have and that's the kind of sadistic kind of feeling. It's like a bit of pain, but it's killing me, but he's going to stop in a minute, and he stops, and you went, oh, and then he'll have a breather, you'll breathe, and he'll go, diddle-diddle-diddle. Yeah, this room always fills up late. I've no fucking idea. I think everybody's in bed. I think I'm going to start streaming later now at night. I'll tell you now, right, I'll go back to my back and finish the story. So the outline was a bit sore, on my bone, whatever, but by now I've had quite a few and I'm used to it. So when we come to the colour, he tells me it's a 3 hour session, it was in the middle of August, it was fucking like 90 degrees outside. So I've pulled up, because you got to remember back in the day I was like slim, six-pack, sporty, decent shape. So I'm sat there, Mr. E-Man, in a very small, tight room. Local tattooist, sadly dead now actually, died from suddenly at home one night. Was a big story around it because he was a famous tattooist. He was really good. So I'm sat in his room, booked all the afternoon off. I've walked it to the place, and as we sat down, now the way I got comfy, I'm sat with both my arm there like that and my elbows on both knees, so it's comfy like that. So I'm sat like that, and he's got access then to my entire back. And he starts, and I will tell you now that the fucking really stupid, like, we're getting to the 3 hour, and I said to you, I've never told a tattooist to stop and probably never would. And he said, he was just coming, and I was getting to a point where I'm like having enough, and I actually looked down, and because I'd been laying on my elbows like that, on my jean shorts I'd got 2 massive patches of water, which I didn't realise was sweat dripping from my arms, because I'd been there like that. And I was literally going to say to him, because he said to the beginning, he says, if you want to have a break and do it next week, not a problem. He says, but I can finish you if you want to do it. I'm literally sat there, and as it's starting to keep going, it's starting to really hurt, because it's constant for 3 hours, and I'm thinking, fuck. And as I said, it's like a niggle, bit more, and over time it gets a bit much. I literally have got the words in my mouth, say, Dave, call it a day, mate, here. And I'm literally just I'm like going, and he says, 5 more minutes, we're done. And I went, ah. So I got through it. But I was literally within a fucking second of saying stop. But it is uncomfortable. Don't let anybody convince you and say it's not. Matt, this may sound wimpy, but I've heard some places will give you numbing gel. I've not heard of that, I'll be honest. And I'll be surprised if that's true, because don't forget, if they're putting numbing gel on you, that area they're tattooing's got to be hygienically clean and shaved of all hairs, by the way. That's what they do. They shave your hairs. They put a fine line of like gel on it, and then put the transfer on and peel it off, and it stays on your skin, and then they get to work. I've never heard of numbing gel being put on it. I suppose it could work for some. Places I've heard that are, and I want to say this, by the way, if money was none, I've said this all my life, if money was no object, I would be a guy now that would have a sleeve from the wrist to my shoulder on both arms. I'd have a full back piece, and I'd probably have a little bit of like a tribal just going down there and there. Where I draw the line for anybody, no matter how crazy and fucking stupid that you are, anybody who has tattoos on the hands or on the neck ought to be shot. I've never understood. I've understood tattoos for a long time. I had my first when I was 15, and I had my last, when I was with the wife, so it was 2-3 years ago. And I would never ever understand anybody having a tattoo on their hands where you are in a public. And I'm going to say this. I've been a big advocate in the past, and I've actually got into fights and arguments with people when people used, because I was in my young days when I first had tattoos, I was a very normal person. I'm sorry, James, if you have, it's just something I've got that I just don't agree with, and I'll come to my point now, so I'm sorry if I've offended you. And I just look at it like this. I've always said about, and I could also say, if any women have got tattoos on the hands and neck, then I'm sorry, that just blows me away. And I don't mean it personally. What I mean is, and it goes back, and you probably kind of, this is it. This is what I was going to say, James, and you've kind of going to probably get where I'm coming from. When I had my first tattoos when I was younger, and it was not, when I went for these others and the prices had gone through the roof, I couldn't fucking believe it. I was going to actually cover myself in tattoos. My dream is my sleeve. I'd had that dream since I was about 20. But when tattoo became popular, especially with women, it went stupid. Prices went tenfold. It literally went through the fucking roof. And that's actually what stopped me having any more tattoos, because I physically just couldn't afford them. And if you go in today, it's still exceptionally popular. The media, especially women, especially the TV and movies, have made tattoos now are actually quite acceptable. But going back to what I was saying, but just to finish that, the prices nowadays are fucking, in my opinion, way overboard. Tattoos should not cost that much. I'm sorry. Just a big opinion. It's not a cost expensive thing for a tattooist. You're talking tubs of ink. The equipment's not that expensive for a businessman. To be charging like for me, if I walked out tomorrow and said, look, do my sleeve that I want from there to my elbow, he wants to charge me 700 quid. As much as I would dearly love it, and I still would dearly love it, that's just ridiculous money to me. Because I'll tell you why. The back piece I've got from across my shoulder and halfway cost me £55 back in the day. £55, and that's right before it went stupid to fucking silly prices. So I'll go back to the hands and the neck business. The reason I don't, and it's kind of, and James might agree, I don't know what kind of age group you are, James, but where it stems from is when I got tattoos, it was not an accepted pastime. It really wasn't. It was frowned upon. It was like, oh my God, you know, because I used to wear no shirt very regular, because as I said, in my 20s I was slim, I'd got six-pack, I was very muscly, I used to do sport and all things. I was, without throwing, I was decent to look at, what should I say, and I used to tan very easily, so I was that like really brown, tanned, muscly, so I was always having my shirt off. So when tattoos got popular, my back piece used to be the most talked about thing anywhere I went, because tattoos weren't popular. It was a real eye-catching piece. It was brand new. It was large. I walked about with my shirt off. It was there. Now, the next generation above frowned upon that kind of shit, and normal people kind of looked at you funny. And I used to get... This is kind of where my life attitude comes from. You know, I'm a moaning fucker all the time. And going back to when I said I used to get into fights and arguments, it all stemmed from... We'd bring up tattoos sometime. It'd be a summer day in the pub, I'd have my shirt off, or I'd have my sleeves, and people would comment. And I used to say, and the big arguments that used to kick off, it used to be not strangers, but people that were kind of on the, like, outskirts of your friend groups, just people that occasionally had a chat and whatever. I'd come in and dress quite smart in my 20s. I'd be quite smart. I'd have shirts on and be pretty smart. Somebody'd bring a subject up about tattoos, because they weren't popular, but they got brought up in subjects. And you'd get a couple of people really uppity, that damned, oh my God, they're disgusting, filthy things. Why would... And I used to be there, perk up and say... And I used to... And obviously my mates kind of knew where it were coming from. And I used to perk up and say, can I just ask what makes you say that? And they, well, it's like for the common people or the sailors or whatever. And I'd be like... I said, so, as an example, I says, if you took me to come and work in your office and you'd accept me if I walked into your office tomorrow for a job, and they'd say, oh yeah, you dress quite smartly, yeah, very nice. I'd take my shirt off and I'd literally look at them and say, would you employ me now? And they wouldn't know what to say. And then I'd just sit there and say, look, I'm not trying to be funny, I said, but I want to make a point. You've just socialised with me all evening. We've had a really good laugh and banter and a good chat all night. But you stereotyped tattoos into a place which is totally ridiculous. I says, but I'll put something else to you. If I had come into your chat area with my shirt off, my guess is you wouldn't probably have even spoke to me. And I used to have more arguments, more fallouts because of that subject matter, because it wasn't the done thing. Now, going back to my hands and shit, as the years that went by, and I don't know if James agrees with this or not, as the years go by, you kind of get a bit of thick skin against it, and you do kind of back yourself into a corner. And as much as objective as I used to be all my life and say, look, my big thing I used to say to people, take me for who I am. Don't take me for what I look at. Never judge a book by its cover. Oh, very old cliches, but I used to live and breathe by them because I was a guy that dressed smart, looked decent, but I'm covered in tattoos. And then it like kind of completely changes just by removing your shirt. So what it kind of built me up over the upcoming years is I used to get a bit self-conscious. If I was going out to different places, a bit more social or a bit more, a bit upmarket, I used to not wear short sleeves or make sure I'd not got shorts on. I used to unconsciously go out my way to make sure I couldn't see my tattoo, so I kind of flipped myself, but it was just the way that's when society went. Now, I then kind of built myself as well. I could never understand people putting tattoos on the hands or the necks if they were looking for employment. Now, that's not mean to say me being that horrible person of, say, oh my God, you've got tattoos on your arms and your neck. No, what it is it was me saying things like, I know that you wouldn't be accepted or you would be frowned upon in normal walks of life because you've got tattoos on your neck and your hands. So I used to say to my family and stuff and friends, if you are thinking of tattoos, I would honestly steer clear of hands and neck purely because of the way society used to look upon you. Nowadays, I'd still say, I don't know if James agrees with this, hands and neck are kind of still like not taboo, but you're kind of looked at different. And I've always said, and this has been my like philosophy over the thing, is if you can cover them up, you still look smart and you get away with it. If you've got them on your hands and neck, it's a bit more difficult. And I just think you're opening yourself to just things that you don't need to. You can still have your love of tattoos. You can cover yourself from neck to balls if you want. And in the summer when it's hot, take your shirt off, fuck everybody, because that's what I used to do. All of mine I can hide really well with a shirt and tie. Yes, I agree, Toz, but I have a wife and kids now and forget that I have... Yeah, and this is the point, James. You've obviously got a loving wife and children that completely accept you for you are, and that is brilliant, and that's the way it should be. But you probably know, like I do, the rest of the fucking world don't tick like that. And it's a shame. And that's why I've always been led through all my life kind of a bit negative, a bit, you know, in your face brash, because I've grown up with shit of people having stereotypical views of things. And the argument I used to get into was, so me having these tattoos, what does that make me? I says, does this tattoo across my back turn me into some fucking murderer? No. It's me liking the art of wanting to express myself with a bit of art. Doesn't change who I am. Completely fucking not in the slightest. Oh, you've been in the army, James. That's really good, mate, that is. So, I mean, to be honest, and this is, I've often said, and I'll say it now, even now in my early 50s, it doesn't fucking bother me age, by the way. That's another fallacy that's bullshit. Age has got nothing to do with anything for anything. You want something, you like it, you have it, fuck everybody else. And if you're that in on yourself that you're thinking of what other people are thinking, then you want to grow a pair of bollocks and just go for it. It's your body, your life, you want to do something, fucking do it. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. But I would honestly say, I don't think it'll happen now, if I'm being truthful. Because, mate, I would dearly love to have this sleeve done. If I had one more dream in the world, I know I dream of travelling and shit like that, that's never going to happen. If I had one more thing that I'd really like, I would love to have this tattoo, because the design I've got in my head, you guys know, I want a video game history. One, to do these small cover-ups, but two, I just want to be... And I'll tell you my reasoning and thinking. Some of you might think... some people may think that, well, you are old. And yeah, I am old, but fuck. But again, I've always been a strong believer. I don't give a shit. It's who I am. You take it for what I am. I want it doing. I'd love it to be done. But what I would say, I mean... I'd love to have it done, but I've got to find £600-700. It's a lot of money. Money no object, be covered. I'd have them dreams I'd always wanted. But I also think that, kind of looking on this, yes, it's doing a bit of a cover-up job for some tattoos, that one's very, very old. One's a mistake that a lot of people in the young day have made. But I also look at the one that I want, the design, is kind of making me feel good for how my life's gone in the last 10-15 years, with video games being at the helm of it. It's made my life pleasant. Yes, I've gone through a lot of shit, as you guys know, a lot of shit. And it's kind of like a bit of a lethargic stepping out the box that I'd like to do it. Just to say, you know what, yeah, you've gone through a fucking shit time. Why not? You want to do it, go for it. And it is a shame it's so expensive. But I may do what I've said. I've got an idea of a couple of tattoos. I could probably just get the cover-ups that I want. I mean, it won't finish the dream job that I want, but at least it'll probably get me what I've wanted to do in a kind of way. But I also will say this for anybody who's always been a bit questionable about tattoos. And I know this from experience of myself, and I know it from family, and I know it from friends. If you've not got tattoos and you're thinking of one, because it is, let's not beat about the bush, it's one of the most popular, trending things today still. I will say this, you will never get one. If you're going to have one, be prepared, because you will not have one. Because once you've had one, it is one of the most addictive things you will ever do. Seriously. Now, I will say this, because as I said, my body's been tattooed in different places. A bit shit. It's just how it was back in the day. It's not like it is today. Walk into a shop, I've got this brilliant design, paint art on my body to make it look good. And it's brilliant today. Back in my day, it was, oh, I've got a bit of money, slap me a tattoo there. No thought of what's going on, where, when, and design. It was just what it was. So yes, in hindsight, kind of, yeah, you've put them all over, they look a bit shit. But it's what I wanted to do at the time. And I will say that every tattoo I've had, whether the ones when I was 15 or whether the ones I had with girls' names on or wives' names on, the time you have them is really good. And there's nothing finer than a brand new tattoo when you walk out the store and it's been done and it's as clean, as gorgeous as it is looking. I'll tell you now, it's one of the best feelings you'll ever have. It's so addictive and so good. and people looking at it and coming up to you and saying, wow, that's really cool, that's a buzz. It's a great hobby and a great thing to do. It's really cool. It's just really sad it's got so fucking stupidly expensive. But it's something I've said since I was 20. I had the dream of both sleeves, you know, and shoulders and my whole back. And at the time I had the back done at 45 quid, I would have finished my back. It's just that it got, prices just went through the roof. But, yeah, I think I might get a tattoo done soon. I'd like it. It's just finding the design, and I guess if I do make a decision to go and do this, I guess I would also work around the fact that it may be the start of my sleeve. So if I go to a tattooist, I would say to them, look, I just want these doing now with this, but it is a plan in the future to probably finish a design sleeve so they can work in a way that they would kind of make it into a start of a design. So maybe in the months and whatever, you'd do it. But I don't know. It's just something I want to do, and I'd like to do it. But anyway, that was a very weird impromptu chat. Sorry if I've bored you. The room is starting to empty because it is getting on. I'm going to watch my YouTube, bit of Roman, my favourite YouTuber, sad but fucking true. And then my favourite YouTuber is Mark Crossfield, the golfer. He's just put part 1 up of his latest vlog where him will play Andy Sullivan, the PGA Pro. And it is, I've been waiting for this one for fucking weeks. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed that chat. Bit boring at the end. Should be on tomorrow night, guys. Probably will put a bit of Mafia 3 on because it's rented and I want to get it and play a bit and send it back. And yeah, it's been enjoyable. And this game's still brilliant. So hopefully I'll be back on tomorrow, which is Saturday. More than likely, guys, by the way, it will be after the European Cup final. So if you are looking for me streaming around 7, 8 o'clock, not going to happen. I'm going to watch the European Cup final. So it'll either be around 10, half 10, or if a bit later if it goes to extra time and penalties. So I will be on tomorrow night late and play some Mafia, a bit of chill, bit of 50s, 60s music to chill out to, and a mad game. So thanks for tuning in. James, I did it from 16, but then as an older I knew I was going to make me a certain person that would people see me as... And that's it, James. You've hit the nail on the head, mate. It's exactly what I said. It's not us. It's them fuckers out there, mate. And that's the sad state that we live in. But don't ever forget, if you still want it, mate, you do it. Fuck everybody else. One famous saying I used to say to people, and I'll finish the night with this. And again, it's kind of attitudey, but this is what I was brought up with. My dad used to tell me what to do from when I was a baby to when I was 16. Nobody out there can ever tell me what to do ever again. And that's the kind of philosophy I live by. And there you go. So, that's me done, dusted for the night. Hope you enjoyed this thing. Don't forget clicking the like button, guys. I know there's not many in the room now, but go click like. And I should be back tomorrow night after the footy. Let's hope it's a good match. So, really appreciate it, guys. I enjoy yakking as always, and a bit of gaming to boot. Thanks for watching, guys. I will speak to you soon. Hope you have a good unpleasant evening. So good night from me until tomorrow. Nighty night.